Hello and welcome to the War Report. I am your host, Cyrus, joined by Quan. This is a show where we talk about NXT and AEW. And we have a special guest, the armchair all tour, Dominic Griffin. It's great to have you back on the show.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Quan, how are you feeling? Quantity?
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, my mic. I was trying to get my mic to work.
You were just speaking, which was weird.
I know, and it went away.
Okay.
What's up? What's going on, guys?
I don't. We watched a lot of wrestling this week.
Man.
So, pardon if I skip the pleasantries and get right to it. Because it was Wrestlemania weekend, and one thing that I want to talk about, let's just get started, is the Hall of Fame. How'd y'all like it?
I thought it was good this year. I kind of think that like the order of it was a little bit weird because it started off so strong, the like super long Heyman bit, and then after that, I was just kind of like tapped out. I felt bad because I was like, I want to honor these people, but I'm also completely over it.
They gave the main event first, but keep going.
Overall, I thought it was cool though. It's a pretty good class. I mean, I think the only part of the show I wasn't into was like The Rock sort of talking about his grandmother, but then mostly just giving himself a belt and then trying on an angle, and that was bad. That was really bad. The rest of the show is pretty cool. I mean, I like Bull Nakano's bit. I know she was like struggling a little bit, with the language stuff, and there was some weird like little boring chants or whatever the hell, but like it was cool. I like Bull Nakano. She's dope.
Yeah, she's great. I didn't hear the boring chants, but what is it? I was talking to Justin about it, and he was just like, I was just telling him that like I know that Bull Nakano's English is like pretty good. Like, she definitely struggled, but like she knows how to give a promo in English at least, because I heard her cut a promo in English at the Sukiban show. So she's like the commissioner for that.
I know that. That's cool.
Yeah, but how'd you feel about it, Quan?
So I gotta preface this by saying, like, starting Thursday afternoon about 4:30 when I clocked, actually before that, probably Thursday afternoonish around 12, whenever Bloodsport started, I fully immersed myself in wrestling content, 90% of it being WWE. So like I was already locked in. So like by Friday night after the show, I saw Heyman's speech, and it was fantastic. Heyman's speech was like, I want to say that's the best Hall of Fame speech I've heard from anybody.
Shit is what I heard. I ain't watched many.
I haven't watched many either. That was my next point. After like I have been watching wrestling since like 1:00 that day, because I watched some of the indie stuff in like GCW or whatever. So after Paul Heyman, I was like, all right, man, I'm done. Like I appreciate what everybody else did, Thunderbolt Patterson, all that. But
no, not his speech.
I'm tired. I didn't even watch his speech. I heard he was preaching though. He was in the preaching.
No.
Bag. He wasn't?
Oh, he was in his preaching bag, but he was also in his preacher bag.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Black people do.
No. That speech was a no. But before I get into my my thoughts about the Hall of Fame joint, how was the GCW stuff? Because I what is it? I was in California with Justin, so like the show started at 4. I was not up at like 8:00 watching no goddamn GCW.
Understandable. I didn't. I like had it on in the background because I was working. But as far as Bloodsport, I did catch a couple matches. I caught Charlie Dempsey versus whoever the hell he fought, and I watched Shayna versus Masha Slamovich. I watched whoever Speedball fought. I forgot who he fought. It was cool. That out of all the GCW shows, you know how I feel about GCW. I think it's terrible, but Bloodsport is at least reasonable. The fights were really short though. I wonder if it's just because they wanted to. I believe there was a women's tournament going on during the show or something like that, so they wanted to make the bouts as short as possible. But that was cool. I saw a lot of clips, a lot of support for Shayna from like other WWE wrestlers. I believe like I think
Mhm.
Punk was there, Strowman was there, Nia Jax, some other
Shit,
people.
Nick Khan was there.
Was Nick Khan there?
Yeah, he was
Oh yeah,
there.
Yeah,
because
Nick
he,
Khan
he
was
he
there.
he took he took the pick with old boy Brett.
Lauderdale.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
So
I think it's best that the Bloodsport fights are short because the longer they go, the longer you realize that it's absolutely a work shoot fight and you're not trying to hurt each other because they probably have other
oh
GCW
they
bookings that day.
yeah
Yup,
other
yup.
Like the Matt Riddle's Bloodsport, dog, they did not care if you had another show, bro. They was beating each other's asses. But since the first Josh Barnett Bloodsport, when those matches started going really long, that's why I was just like, oh, they lost the plot. Like, give us these quick knockouts, even if it's fake, bro. Like, fuck it. Um, but yeah, I think I might check out GCW stuff. I'm not really doing anything tomorrow, so I'll check out Bloodsport and maybe I'll check out the Spring Break joint. The Spring Break joint is usually like pretty fun. So
yeah.
I'm not gonna rate it as like a wrestling show. I'm just gonna see how stupid they get. Um, but the Hall of Fame, yes, I think we were all in agreement that Paul Heyman's speech was fantastic, amazing. Um, Paul Heyman, I go listen to a talk all goddamn day. If he wanted to talk for another 8 hours on that Rick Rubin joint, my ass is sat. Um, yeah, he definitely had the best speech. It Hall of Fame goes downhill after it's time to induct Muhammad Ali. That it just starts going down the toilet. It becomes like the Rock show, and I was just like, that's not what the Hall of Fame is for, big brother. Um,
Yeah, that's the problem with The Rock. When if The Rock's on the screen, it's all about him, no matter. Even he even eclipsed Muhammad Ali. Like you know how like
during Muhammad
egotistical.
Ali, he gave himself a championship belt, bruh,
It
and
was insane. It was
lied
so
his ass
insane.
off. He said, when I call myself the people champ, I called up Muhammad Ali and said, can I use this? Even if the story is true, I don't believe you.
When did Muhammad Ali pass away? Was that
Like,
2000? Oh, 2016. Okay, 2016. Never mind. I was like,
yeah.
did he even know Rock? But yeah, he probably did. All right, never mind. Yeah, but still, yeah, it felt kind of nasty. But I didn't see that. So when he came out at Mania with that belt, I was like, what the fuck is that? I was like, why does he have that? I wasn't aware that he was given that until commentary said it. It was really just all of that was really strange.
Yeah, and then like Dom said, once it was time to induct his grandma, it just it cut into a promo for the main event for night one, and I was like, this is not the time for that. Like this is literally not the place or time for that.
It was
Like,
so awkward. Like some of the stuff, like to me, the best Hall of Fame ceremonies are always like some of the older ones where it really is just a bunch of old timers and they're being
mhm,
inducted by other old timers and they're all just like essentially doing like live shooting reviews, just yammering about stuff, the old days, and it cuts to someone in the audience who has no idea what they're talking about. Like I like that stuff. So like
mhm.
having now that we're in the era where it's mostly going to be like newer people, and like a focus on the people that are still there and stuff like that, like it would have been cool if they did talk a lot about stuff that his grandmother did and like how as a
Mhm.
promoter she was influential and stuff, but it really did. He hijacked Muhammad Ali's induction and then segued right into his grandmother's, which was also about him after we'd already been watching wrestling for hours. It was just such a bad
Yeah,
move.
and then also it's just like you're cutting this promo for like if you're at the Hall of Fame ceremony, you're gonna be at Mania. Like I don't know somebody that just goes to the Hall of Fame and not like
Like he's
Mania.
trying to get the last naysayers to convert to a sold out show.
Yeah, this is so weird. But yeah, Heyman's speech was fantastic. Um, let's get into these trenches so we could talk about the AEW all in backstage footage because yeah, this is going to be a WWE dominant show because they dominated the weekend. And also I don't think AEW got a lot to talk about but that. Um, so I'm gonna start with you, Juan. How did you feel about the CM Punk Jack Perry footage at All In?
Um, man. Well, before we even get to that, so obviously Collision was filmed after Dynamite on Wednesday.
Mhm.
So that means in post production they had this idea. So the show aired, Collision aired later than usual because of the championship game, the NCAA championship game. So this didn't like they announced this happening at like 1 a.m. Saturday night after WrestleMania Night 1. And said, "Hey, we're gonna have the All In backstage footage." So now everybody's like, what? What do you mean?" And then it's like people thought it was a troll, and then later on we get it confirmed that no, it's not a troll. They're really going to do it, and it just left people very like, what is going on? Why are they doing this? So we get to Wednesday, and they show the footage, and they try to like combine it with the story of like the Bucks versus
I thought that was
FTR.
so tasteless.
It's not even. It's just like they weren't even involved in that. They had nothing to do. They weren't there.
Yeah,
I mean,
so at first it was just like, oh, why are they trying to well, it was just like, why are they showing this footage? And then it was just like, oh, we're gonna like shoe it in with the tag team stuff. And then it was just like, no, this is still dumb. This is still very fucking stupid. But continue.
but yeah, just like I don't know. So they showed the footage, and mind you, earlier in the week, CM Punk was on Ariel Helwani's podcast, telling the exact things that happened, moments that happened to the little scuffle, word for word. They showed the same exact video, and what Punk said on Ariel Helwani's podcast is exactly what happened. And then that was it. And then FTR comes out, and they cut a promo, and then the crowd is like, "What the fuck?"
Dog, FTR has to be, they probably had like no say in whether
Yeah.
that really happened, or like, they probably tried to veto and they were just like, no, we're gonna do it anyway. But for FTR to come out and try to cut a raw promo after that embarrassing thing and trying to shoehorn that into your championship match, and then actually saying, why are we focusing on this? Why are we looking at this? We are
Great
past
question.
this. We're
Great question.
just like, how does AEW not look stupid as fuck? But
Bro,
Dom, your thoughts on the
Dom,
footage?
go ahead, Dom.
So like, okay, so when they announced they were gonna do it again at like whatever 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday online, I was like, oh, okay, well they're gonna show it's not gonna be the real footage. It's gonna be some kind of swerve to try to get the Bucks heat for misleading people to
Mhm.
promote the match to the FTR or whatever. And I was like, all
And
right. I mean,
somehow worse.
and the thing is, at the time, I was like, that's a stupid idea, but like that's fair. I'm like, I don't agree with it, but like that's not bad. Um, but then like within an hour, Meltzer and Alvarez were like, "Oh no, I talked to it's the real footage. They're really doing it." And I was like, "That is worse. That you immediately took away any mystery or dramatic element there was to this, to having someone just come out and go, no, they're just really showing the footage. And the person you have chosen to leak that information to or deliver that information to is also presenting it to people with the caveat of, I don't know why they're doing this." Like the one person who was maybe one of the most defensive of this brand alive, even he was like, So then they actually play the footage. The whole Bucks promo leading up to it was really terrible. The Bucks have not done anything good involving speaking or character work in a very long time. And the footage itself, okay, so I watched it on the show, and then once it hit like Twitter, I watched it like 12 more times. I was watching like the Zapruder film. And the thing that is the most fascinating to me is what Quan said is correct. It is exactly what Punk said happened, to the point that people have edited his interview over the footage, and it like lines up basically perfectly. What I am fascinated by is the fact that a humongous contingent of people on the internet are like, well, no, it's good that they played it because it shows that Punk is a liar. And then when you ask, what did he lie about? They just stop responding to you. Like they have just decided that what they are seeing is, I saw someone literally comparing it to, I guess, one of the early accounts when this originally happened months and months and months ago. One of the original accounts was that that Jack Perry had like bumped into Punk or something like that, and like, well, this story was fed to the dirt sheets from Punk's camp, and that was a lie. And it's like, but no one's saying that. None of us are saying that that story, that vague story from 8 months ago, is a lie. People are saying that a week ago, the thing that triggered you to do this, he said these exact events, and that is what is on the tape. The only things that you can call inconsistencies are the part where he says, "I have my people with me. I'm not going to say their names," and I
Mhm.
imagine they're just all off camera. Uh, it's just like that Nathan Fielder meme of like me and my friends are having a great time. It's just his face. Like Punk said, he had a crew with him, and they were clearly like 10 feet away. So that part, I guess you can say,
Yeah.
is an exaggeration. Maybe he felt they were with him in spirit. And
No,
then,
I feel like it's probably some of the people that like pulled up after Punk, but you just see the back of their heads.
yeah, you see
Um,
Malachi Black rolling up, just being like, "What's going on?" Like completely nonplussed, like just doesn't care.
mhm.
Um, and then there's like that's actually not the right definition of the word nonplussed, but then like there's all these little details to it that are really funny. And like if this was just being shown as a goof or something, it's great because like the bit of Chris Hero like leaping over to break things up and having like stop his pants from sagging, like a real relatable fat guy moment, is really powerful. And then the exact aftermath of Tony lunging at Punk lunging at Tony Khan off camera, where Chris Hero just looks distraught because we all know he got this job like weeks before All In, right?
Mhm.
And he literally just looks like, oh fuck, it's over. Like he fucked it all up. This is like he looks like the world is ending. Like this is it. This is the end of everything.
He looks so sad.
He looks so fucking
That
sad.
boy looks
It's to
stressed.
me, it's like the actual focal point of the entire thing. Because like Joe just looks annoyed, everyone else looks concerned, Punk just looks mad, but Hero looks heartbroken. I can't imagine that being your first week on the job. Is like a guy you've known for like 20 years is doing it, and you're like, come on.
Yeah, crazy. Also, something that I really want to mention, since we're mentioning everybody in the room, Hook just standing there, puts his title down real slowly, and then puts like one hand on Jungle Boy as if he's doing something to hold him back, is hilarious.
I didn't even see Hook in that video. That's really funny. And I got to go back and watch it.
You got to keep
Yeah,
yeah,
just
there's
over
every time you rewatch it, you see
you
another
see
little
more.
detail. Yeah.
I
I would
I
have had
think
more
what's
respect if
okay.
they made the whole show the video. They just kept
I
replaying it.
mean, bro,
And then like
basically after that, like after that happened, I don't think the crowd really cared about what was going on in the show anymore. I know I sure didn't because I was directly in my phone on the
I cut the show
timeline,
off.
joke just full of jokes. And I gotta point out, we're talking about the video. We're not talking about Tony Schiavone's face before they posted the video. I don't know if you guys noticed it. He didn't
I
even
saw his
he didn't
face
even
after.
he didn't even want to look at the camera. He was so he was so embarrassed. He knew this was some bullshit.
I
He's
know he was
been here.
heavily against it.
He's been here before. Well, for one, he said it last week. He said this is bullshit. Why are we still doing this? For one, after when someone asked him about the Helwani interview, and then
Mhm.
two, he's been here before. He's seen this happen before. Where just like dumb creative shit where we're focused on the wrong things and
Getting
you
war
know
flashbacks.
yeah, he had fucking PTSD. He genuinely couldn't look at the camera, and then after the fact when he came back, he really he literally turned his body like involuntary, like you could just tell like
the
he
body
was just
language was
so
crazy.
yeah. He couldn't even hide it. I was like, man, I genuinely felt bad for him because I know he wanted nothing to do with that at all.
Mhm.
I wonder if
Um,
he feels guilt because, like, I know like the key part of the story is he's the one that initially went to Punk, like, can you help me talk to Jungle Boy? So I don't know if on some level Tony Schiavone's like, if I just handled this on my own, it's like, no, you're the
Yeah,
wrong Tony. You're not the
n-
Tony that was supposed to deal with this, man.
yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna mention. Tony Schiavone, if you're hearing this, bro, probably not, but
Tony Schiavone, devoted War Report listener.
imagine.
he knows that like it. Well, like if he feels any sort of guilt, bro, it's not on you. Like literally, like you said, the wrong Tony like didn't do anything. Or like the other Tony didn't do anything. And yeah, I don't know what this was supposed to do for the show or for the brand in general. Like this isn't a good look. Like I've been saying it's stupid since it was first announced. And I was like I predicted exactly how it was gonna go. Like it wasn't going to absolve Jungle Boy or AEW or make Punk look, look bad or worse in anybody's eyes. So what was the point of this? And then I go on Twitter. I just wanted to see like Quanda. I just wanted to see a different point of view.
Of course, yeah.
I'm seeing cheap shot Punk. Jungle Boy did nothing wrong. And you know what? Jungle Boy didn't do anything wrong. Tony Khan did. Like it all falls on him. Like I'm not gonna point at Jungle Boy and I'm not or like Jack Perry, whatever, and I'm not gonna point at Punk. Tony Khan let it escalate to this point. So no matter what you take away from this video, the one thing that you should be taking away is that this motherfucker cannot lead.
I mean, Punk said it. He
Like
didn't lie.
it could be cheap shot Punk. It could be Jungle Boy did nothing wrong. Hey, getting your ass whooped ain't nothing wrong with that. But Tony Khan really just like let Punk do what he want, and and just like Punk said in the interview, like you're not gonna like how I handle this.
He literally might as well have just said, "I'm gonna beat this dude's ass if you don't step in or get HR involved or something." You know what I mean? Like that, and like people who have real. I think what's been frustrating throughout this conversation, this discourse, is that people keep comparing it to being like, "Well, imagine if you were at your job and like this happened at your workplace," and it's like, "Well, first of all,
I
I'm
would
not a
love if
professional."
this happened.
Well, okay, but it's like I'm not a fucking professional wrestler, so like if a fight broke out at my job, that'd be a very different situation. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
I don't think it's fair to equate two professional wrestlers getting into a physical altercation backstage to like, if you work at fucking Foot Locker and the shift lead get into a scrap on the floor. That's a very different set of circumstances. And if I worked at a Foot Locker, okay, and there were two employees that had beef, and a manager was continuously told about it, and he did nothing to intervene, and they got into a fight, that manager would be in serious trouble. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
I've been managing people in my job for like over a decade, and like you cannot ignore situations like that because they always come to a head. They never just go away on their own. And
Mhm.
like I manage like 20 to 30 people. I don't have a national corporate television product that I'm responsible for, entirely populated by like hot-headed, high ego athletes. Do you know what I mean? Like it's a very different
Mhm.
environment. And there's this divide, I think, between people who look at it as being like Punk is toxic, he was violent in the workplace, this is unacceptable, and people who are like, well, yeah, I mean, he punched. What do you mean? Like, who cares? And the thing that's unfortunate is that the quotient of people who would see this footage and be moved to side with AEW on it already watch the show. Like everyone
Yeah.
on Twitter who was like, "See, we knew he was a snake and a liar." All those people, they are the Rampage viewers, not the Dynamite viewers, not the Collision viewers. They are the most concentrated,
Quan and his
small,
brethren.
like the
I'm
real
about to say, why
diehards.
I think that a shot at me. I
Not
feel
a
like
shot
Will
at you, not a shot
Ospreay.
at you at
I'm
all.
about to shoot
I
back. I'm about to
promise,
shoot back.
I promise. I wouldn't do that. But like there, we always say, look, oh, a Dynamite's range is like 700,000 to like a million on a good day, and then like Collision the is like what 400 to 700 something. Like
Yeah.
Rampage is essentially 250,000 people. That is the actual core. It's a quarter of a million people who are AEW fans, and most of their decision making is to appease those people who haven't turned away ever. Like they're just there. You know what I mean? Like devoting this time when there's gonna be a bunch of eyes on you in theory because this is a big thing and it's Wrestlemania week and it's a big topic of conversation, and you're doing something that's just gonna appease the people who are already watching. Why even do it? Why waste the time?
Hmm. Yeah, this is AEW's problem with just not really catering to the casual viewer and only catering to people that who are already watching. And I think a lot of I still believe this since I said it, I think like 2 years ago. AEW doesn't like try to bring in a casual audience. What they try to do is make sure they get any jaded or lapsed WWE fan. And then since Triple H took over, people aren't leaving any.
They're coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the problem. And also, I think the real AEW core is not the Rampage viewer. It's the Battle of the Belts viewer.
Oh yeah, that's oh my god. Oh my god.
That's
Yeah, that is the
that's
rock
the real
bottom.
core.
Yeah. It's like the you at that point you probably have a tat. You probably
Hmm.
own AEW shirts, not the wrestler shirts, just the logo.
Just a logo.
Just the logo. That's great. And you know what? The logo is probably their best shirt
It's their top selling shirt.
It's
because
their
all their
least
other shirts are
intrusive.
yes.
I think the heartbreaking thing though too is it's not just okay, if this was just one bad idea on the show, and it blew up in their face, that's one thing. But the entire show is really bad, and I
Hmm.
don't even know if this is the worst thing on the show. Um, Like, that's the scary thing to me. I don't know that them showing this footage is worse than that Mercedes Moné pre-tape. And I don't know if it's worse than having allegedly the greatest wrestler in the world, this huge important signee you have, devote half of his promo time to throwing a shot at another person that doesn't work here in Triple H.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't.
In back-to-back segments, by the way.
You
Yeah,
only
in
have
back to
2
back.
hours, and to devote that much time to these two guys who, by all accounts, are having a great fucking week.
Incredible.
Who
Yeah.
there is no world where Triple H sees this video and is like, oh man, I really should have signed that guy. You know what I mean? Like at that point, even if like all these people like to say is, oh, he was hurt because he fumbled or whatever, even if you want to believe that bullshit, there's no way that this like made it worse. He was like, oh man, he really got me. He really got me saying things someone's been saying about me for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that. Like, it's not even like he did anything original. It was the same joke he'd been hearing and seeing on the internet for literally, yeah, like you said, 20 years. Damn, it's been 20 years. That's crazy.
I
But
just
yeah,
don't
it's
get
like,
it, man. Like he even I think the thing that really made me mad about it was like his argument was essentially like, well, I'm one of the best wrestlers in the world, and like I give people these great matches, and it's like fucking 40 years ago, Dynamite Kid wasn't talking like that, right? At the time, that dude was like genuinely like reinventing in-ring products for people, you know, him and the Tiger Mask and stuff. And he
mhm.
could have not gone and gotten in the face of like a huge draw and be like, okay, maybe you sold out a bunch of buildings, but I did. Do you see that head scissors? No one's ever done that before. They would be like, "Oh, shut the fuck up." They would just be like, "Don't even look at me."
The response is, do you feed your family with those good matches? Like that's the immediate response. Like I'm feeding families out here. Like um and then also I just want to mention that yeah, like Osprey cuts that promo, and then like after the crazy week Triple H just had, I don't see him going, man, fuck over what Osprey just said. Like, and then you know what? Triple H didn't even call him out by name. Hit Dog's Holler, bro.
That's what I'm saying. People, because at first when he came out, and I was like, "What is he talking about?" Like, I totally forgot that Triple H even said that on Pat McAfee's podcast. It's like it's
And
been like
and my
3 weeks since that happened.
and my thing is that Osprey's fairly young. The closer I get to 30, the more I realize 30 is very young. But like Osprey's a young guy, right? But like literally, I would probably say like 4 or 5 months ago, he was on Twitter being like, I don't know if I could keep going.
Yes.
Yeah,
L. Like if you're tweeting that I don't think I could keep wrestling at like 30 something, yeah, I'm gonna sign Julia instead. Especially if you're asking for a ridiculous amount of money and you are a vase with cracks and dents.
I think that's
Like
the
Osprey,
thing.
you'll be okay.
The thing about Osprey and a lot of these cats is like, I don't know that Osprey makes it to the end of this year healthy. I'm not wishing anything ill on him. Nothing whatsoever. But like we've already seen we've already seen Adam Cole's career completely derailed. And Cole doesn't even work quite as hostile on the body style as Osprey does.
Mhm.
We haven't seen Adam Cole take a bump in a long time. So the idea that a lot of the game changers they brought in are like this is the new status quo is like, will it be? I don't know I don't know what the show looks like in 6 months. You know what I mean? Like come Wembley time, I don't know who's gonna be healthy. I don't know who can actually get in the ring and do anything.
Mhm. Um. So yeah, that shot's ridiculous, but I think that is enough time dedicated to AEW. Um. Let's get into WrestleMania. Night one. Night one. How do you guys feel about the show overall? Starting with Dom.
I thought night one was pretty good. I think night two was obviously better, but I thought it was
Oh yeah.
really strong. I think with the last couple of years, night one has been like so good that it's like, how can night two top this? Where I
Mm-hmm.
think that as much as I enjoyed night one, I was like, oh, they're probably going to top this tomorrow. You know,
There was no
like
doubt.
I thought the Becky Rhea match was pretty good, but nothing touching the Rhea Charlotte match from last year.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Gunther Zane was incredible, like amazing. I think easily better than the Gunther match from last year. Um, but then as much as I liked the spectacle, I suppose, of the main event, and that the finishing stretch kind of made up for how plotting it was.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it definitely just sort of felt like a sort of like a preamble to night two. And I sort of think that's a better structure for the weekend manias. That
Yeah.
like I think if everyone goes out night one, like, yeah, follow that motherfuckers, and then the night two can't, that's like not good. Like
Mhm.
because that's like because I feel like last year, even though night two was really strong, it had a very deflating finish. I feel like that's kind of like not an ideal way to end the weekend because you watch hours and hours of wrestling and it ends on kind of a sour note. Whereas I thought that night one was like sort of felt like it was ramping up, felt like it was rising action, which I thought was good.
Yeah. Quan?
WrestleMania Night 1 with Dune Part 1, WrestleMania Night 2 with Dune Part 2.
That's
That's
actually really, really
And you
apt.
know what?
that's
I saw both those movies this weekend, and I agree.
you feel me? Like that's what it was. Dune 1, I thought was a fine movie. It set up what it needed to. I think Justin went over it pretty well on the A show. Kind of like
Mhm.
this was the first one where it was you had the main characters from night 1 go into night 2. So it felt more like a continuation instead of kind of like I don't want to say two separate events, but it kind of felt like two different shows. It felt like just one continuous chapter of shows going back to back, and I think that really I think it helped the overall for the event. But yeah, night 1 definitely was the weaker show, but it wasn't bad at all. Like it just was like you know um what really would have helped. It's not the crowd's fault because it was just cold outside, but like if the crowd, I feel like the crowd wasn't really as into it as they wanted to be just because they were so fucking cold.
Hey, hold
I
on.
think we would have. Go
Wait,
ahead, go ahead.
before you continue, Justin talked about how, we are debating how it was cold or whatever, but you know how cold it really was out there because every wrestler, every commentator mentioned
Yeah,
how cold it was out there, like
for
without
sure.
fail.
Multiple times, kept bringing it up. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
it's cold out here, dog.
And then night two, obviously, the temperatures changed, so the crowd was a lot louder, and I think that actually works well because if the weather situation was in reverse, I think well, it's the match overall. I think night two is better, but I feel like
Yeah,
people would be talking about the you know, never mind.
but yeah, I thought the show was great. I really enjoyed like Dom said, I really enjoyed Sammy versus Gunther. Man, that brainbuster spot, I didn't like it didn't even cross my I totally forgot he even did that move because he hadn't done it in so long. Like it didn't even cross my mind to think he would do something like that. And I
Hmm.
was just like, I literally jumped out of my chair when he did the brainbuster. I was like, oh my god, he really he really did the brainbuster. And the win, I didn't think he was going to win it either. I believe I predicted Chad Gable was going to like interfere and like throw in the towel or some shit
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
and he didn't. So yeah, good for Sammy. I think there's a hell of a run for Gunther. I'm really happy for him. Yeah, the main event itself. I don't know if you guys want to just get into that now, but like, um, I didn't hate it, but I'll probably never watch it again, only
Oh.
because the middle section of that match was so slow and like he genuinely could have cut 10 minutes out of that match and it would have been I think I would have liked it a
Hmm.
lot more. As far as Rock goes, he did he did what he needed to do. He didn't fuck anything up. I did think it really funny when he went for that low blow and somehow busted his ass. I don't know how he pulled that off, but he
Shit
punched him
was
in the dick on the
hilarious.
ground and just fell into the turnbuckle. But
I thought we were gonna have a Shane McMahon moment for a second.
oh
I was like,
god,
oh
that
my
was
god,
so.
this
Oh,
is
Can you
about to be
imagine?
like
Oh my god, that would have been the worst thing ever.
I'm glad that didn't happen on the show
Yeah, that would have
to
been bad.
anybody.
It's cold outside. The muscles all tensed up. Lord knows.
yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, man. But yeah, as far as Rock, I thought he definitely tried his hardest. He very much sold. I was shocked he even took that table bump, to be honest. I didn't think he would do that. So shout out to Rock. I wasn't mad at it. I thought Cody and Seth looked good. Um, yeah, that
Okay.
that was kind of my night one. What about you guys
Yeah.
as far as the main event goes?
Um, I like night one. And then like Dom said, like it's clear which night is the better night. Because like for the past few manias, you could kind of just like I kind of like night one more or whatever, but like now, nigga, night two is that night without question. Yeah, Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch was amazing. I actually need to watch it back. Um, Same with Damage Control, Jay Cargill, uh the Black Ladies versus Damage Control. Um, I think I wish that match went a little longer. I'm glad none of you mentioned how much of a snooze or a bust Jimmy and
Oh
Jay
no! Oh no! 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 No!
was.
I was gonna get to that. No, I
Oh,
was
okay,
getting to
okay,
that
okay,
because what did
okay.
I tell you? What did I tell you last week?
Honestly, I really, really thought that that wasn't going to be it because these two grown as characters so much. And then they went out there and gave us nothing.
Cyrus, what did I tell you? I said this is either going to be amazing or the worst fucking match you'll ever see. I knew there was no in
No in
between for this
between.
match. I
Yeah,
knew it.
there's you were right.
This is my thing because Jay is very much over, but I don't think Jay's that great of a singles wrestler, and Jimmy's worse than Jay. So I said, there's no way this match is going to be good unless they do a match they have been practicing since they were 3 years old.
This is
There's
the
no way
match.
this match was going to be good. If
This is
that was the
the
match they were practicing when they were 3 years old, they shouldn't
nigga
even be in
said
the
this is
family. You out the
nigga
bloodline,
said
nigga.
nigga said we've been thinking about this match since we was 5 years old.
I said, that's what you gave me?
I think the thing that was really sad about that match is like not only did Jay have a head start on the solo run stuff because Jimmy was hurt,
Mm.
but then like he continued to keep being singled out as like his own thing and developing his own character. And I thought when they moved him to Raw, okay, cool. Now Jimmy is going to have time to be on his own and like develop, so he's kind of
Mm-mm.
on maybe not equal footing, but closer to equal footing come Mania. And that did not happen.
I don't
He
even.
essentially was doing like just comedy shit the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
They never really established his character in a way that made a lot of sense. They never really capitalized on anything involving him. Like there weren't any more wrinkles. Like a lot of the stuff with the bloodline kind of just stalled out when they had to split. Uh, and I think that really hurt the match. I mean, forget the fact that the match also, just from like a work rate perspective, was boring as shit. It also just
Yeah.
had no juice. There was nothing about it where you really
Mm-mm.
cared one way or the other. It just felt like they had planned to do this. They didn't really build to it very well, and they had to do it anyway.
Yeah, and also I think it's like maybe it's gonna come play into like the SmackDown story or whatever, but like Solo Sikoa didn't even come out here. These are both his brothers.
No
Yeah, that
involvement
was interesting
whatsoever.
too. Yeah, that
And
was
and
strange.
and I think it's gonna be a thing where it's just like, oh, you came out there to help Roman, but you ain't help me, your brother. Cool, if that's gonna be the story on SmackDown, that's still ass. Um,
Nothing saves it. Nothing at all.
yeah. And then when they started exchanging super kicks, I was just like, all right, cool, let's get it out of the way now. So, let's cut into the Bloodline theater, even though if it's like Bloodline short film. You feel me? And then they kept going. And I said, oh no,
And then they
where the
started
food
making
at?
face. They started making faces.
I was,
They're acting conflicted, like they've been beating each other's ass for the last month anyway.
yeah, no, that was terrible.
I
I'm
don't
done talking about that match, man. um, I thought Jay Cargill looked really great. I thought that was very fun. Um, Damage Control, perfect opponents for her. Um, these are people who she could really just muscle around, especially like a Kyrie Sane. Um, and shit, she been beating the shit out of Dakota Kai. Um, but I thought that was all really great and fine. Um, I think you guys said everything that needed to be said about Sammy Gunter. I thought the match was amazing. The main event, I'm when I was on Instagram and they're just like, this is one of the longest WrestleMania main events. I was just like, that shit still sucks. Um, even even with the last like 10 minutes really being really good, um, 10 minutes out of a 45-minute match is not a good ratio for me. Um, and if you know me, if you've been listening to me for a really long time, and at first I was gonna excuse it because like whatever, it's WrestleMania, but as soon as they started fighting on the outside, you lost me. I hate that shit a lot. Um, and I don't even think they did anything spectacular. Excuse me. When they were fighting in the crowd.
Nah, that was just typical Rock match. We're gonna go fight in the crowd and do some shit. I did think it
Yeah,
was funny him threatening the referee to fire him if he called the DQ. I did think that was pretty funny.
I
And
think
the ref saying sorry to Cody, like, oh, what you want me to do, nigga?
I think that works well for the people that are just like, why is it the ref counting? Um, it works well for that, but like even when they're fighting on the outside, they didn't really like do anything crazy. I think they did like one, I can't really call it a table, but I guess like a block that they like slammed each other on, and I was just like, that's it. Somebody climb one of these things and jump off that bitch. Like, let's get into it, man. Um, Well, obviously they weren't going to go crazy because they have to work a second night. But I did not think this match was like good.
That's
Um,
fair. I get
and
it.
then
Well, before we go any further, how do you guys feel about like the production of it all and kind of
okay,
like the set or like the
I,
lighting
I,
and everything like
I was
that?
about to ask the same thing
Oh,
because
really?
a lot of the production goes to a lot of the sponsorships that they had going on and then multiple
Good lord.
sponsors.
Good lord. Sponsors,
I
man.
I know it's we hate ads, we hate capitalism, but a lot of these ads told me these niggas getting a lot of money.
Yeah.
And also these companies are
Certainly.
spending a lot of money. Um, Dude wipes,
Dog. What
big
kind
has
of bread
been.
they got over there? They got money over there.
They said,
They
I,
must,
"Hey,
yeah,
men
I
wiping
did.
their ass for the first time."
I did think that maybe going forward, now this is going to be kind of the norm, that there should have been more thought given into what ads were placed with what matches, because I felt like every sponsorship seemed like cartoonish in a way. You know what I mean? Like
very on
uh
the nose.
very on the nose, yeah. And like who
Very on the
cares,
nose.
whatever. But it was like, man, if these were just a little bit more massaged into the show, it would be less distracting. But also, I didn't think it's that distracting. Like, I mean, watch Lucha. I feel like every time the ring is just riddled with like, Cervezas ads and stuff. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's like I don't think it matters like that. I know some people were making a really big deal out of it, like it was like this horrible thing. And I whatever, it's like it's money, you know what I mean? Like it's just there's sponsorships. Like everything in America has like heavy sponsorships and heavy brand presence. I didn't think this was any different.
I know when what is it? I think it was like the Aqua Fresco or some shit like that. When
That
there
one was
was,
really, yeah.
but it was just like the drink that's in Spanish. Yes, is going to be in this match. Like that's just how I looked at it. I was just like, they're not gonna put that aqua fresco for fucking Sami Zayn and Gunter, bruh. Like, I'm pretty sure that they know a lot of Hispanic eyes are gonna be on this match, or Latino eyes are gonna be on this match. So they put it for there. Now, if you want to say the Wingstop shit kind of crazy, I'm not gonna fault you
Yeah, that
Hey,
was a
look,
bit.
because it kind of was. But
I said it on Twitter. I feel like this one's a little bit more fair because it wasn't just singling out one side. So let me tell you
yeah,
something. Black people love some fried chicken. Asian
And
people also
so do
love fried
Asian
chicken.
people,
yeah.
100%. Yeah.
It's a
If
win-win for everybody.
if the Wingstop ad was like in a black all black singles match, like if it was like for Carmelo and Trick Williams, I'd be like, all right, this is kind of crazy.
They are kind of wild.
Still doing too much, yeah.
But you know what the funny part was? I made that joke, and then people were like, "Oh well, someone said Gin and Juice is sponsoring the Pride match," and I thought they were like people were telling me I thought they were joking. I didn't know Gin and Juice was a product that like Snoop had. So
I
I'm like,
didn't know either. I was just like,
I
why are
thought
they
they were
promoting this old
joking.
ass song?
And then when he came out and then he was doing commentary, I was like, "Oh, that's really a thing." I thought people were just fucking with me, like making like a little like a joke, but they were dead ass. But I wasn't as mad at that one because Snoop was out there, which I guess we'll get
Yeah.
into later when we get into nights too. But yeah, the advertisement. I mean, if you watch any other sport in the world, I mean, football, American or European or South American, wherever, there's just ads everywhere on those. I mean, it goes to show that a lot of wrestling fans, at least online, don't really watch any other sports and don't realize like how fucking blessed we
Mhm.
had been for the last 4 decades that there weren't ads in the ring, but like we're in a new era now. Like we don't get ads, especially at WrestleMania.
I
It's just gonna
mean,
be what it is. It's like the Super Bowl.
shit. I I guess like yeah, they could be a little more, I guess, conscious of the ads that they put, but what business that we know is really conscious? You feel me? Um, And also, I don't think really anybody really cared when Sol Ruka was a goddamn cinnamon toast crunch, bro. The niggas thought that shit was amazing.
I did kind of wish there had been another Cinnamon Toast Crunch-esque cameo.
The aqua fresco. Let it just be Sol Ruka again.
I would
They
like
could
for that
have.
to become like a thing at the PC that like people are fighting to be like, I'm not, I want to be in the suit this year. Like that's gonna be like a big thing you work towards. Like, hey, if you keep
No,
it up, we'll put in a good word for you to be, like a giant chalupa for the Taco Bell
Yeah.
sponsorship or something.
no, only Sol Ruka.
Only-
Sol
uh,
Ruka is on all the champion or on the sponsorship mascots. Like when we get a Crash Bandicoot ad, she needs to be in it. She needs to be in the costume.
It's gonna be a giant Slim Jim.
oh my
Shit, fuck it,
god.
let's go. Um, but yeah, that's I thought production was really well. I thought it was really nice. I think a lot of the AR stuff was really cool. Did you got I know they didn't really focus the camera on it a lot. You probably see a little bit of it in some matches, but the thing that they used to heat up the ring, did
Yeah, I
y'all see
saw the
that?
little like the big old heaters, the massive
Yeah.
heater. They look like a fucking like a spaceship or something. Or like in Hell Divers when like they come out the little thing. That's what it looked like.
It looks like what is it? Like a jet with the metal when the thrusters get hot, boy.
Yeah,
Because
but that's what gets hot.
imagine looking up and then you just see these fucking red ass bars on top of you, bro. It looked kind of scary, but
And it was like frying the wrestler's hair. Like, did you see Roman's hair after his matches? He was just
yeah,
like
get him at frizzy.
dry and frizzy.
Hey, I'm pretty sure he'd rather have the frizzy hair than be cold as shit. I ain't seen nobody shivering, so that's good. That's good. All right, night two. How do we feel about night two? And I'm gonna throw it to you, Quan.
Night two, off the rip. You got to even start from the beginning. The Meek Mill intro, like
Yes.
the video, dog. That shit had me so hyped off the rip. So they were already running. They were already moving at a fast pace. They come out.
Mhm.
We get Seth versus Drew. It's basically a Goldberg match. It's finisher spam. We're not playing around. No build up. No nothing. We get right to it.
Hard.
Hard. The match ends. Drew does his thing. He's over at Taunton Punk in the commentary booth. Money in the Bank cashing. Come on, like go. We're just moving. Like shit just going. Crowd's going crazy. You could already feel how different the energy is on night two compared to night
Mhm.
one. And literally just the first 30 minutes of the show is like night and day. I just like it just had me hype. Like it made me enjoy the show so much more. And man, yeah, it was just like that was so much fun. And then yeah, everything else that really happened. The street fight was really fun. Was night two the ladder match or was night one the ladder match?
Night one was the ladder match. I was gonna mention it after we done wrapped up,
Oh, my
but
fault.
but no, go ahead because none of us mentioned it during night one, so I was gonna do it as cleanup. But if you want to mention, talk about
No, that's
the
fine.
ladder
We'll
match.
do it. That's fine. We'll do it
Okay,
later.
okay.
Nothing
Anything that
major.
doesn't get mentioned or like isn't like a highlight in y'all reviews, I'm taking mental notes and I'm gonna
Okay, my
sweep
fault.
over it. I'm a good host, man.
You know what you're doing, man. But yeah, then we get so yeah, the Philly street fight. I think Bubba Ray Dudley being special guest referee was a smart move, and have a stoop on the
Mhm.
on commentary was fantastic. He's good, man. Even if it seems like it's like Snoop knows just enough where he doesn't sound clueless out there, but he doesn't watch the product regularly, but like he knows just enough and what to say. He
He did the same kind of commentary that like Renee Young did, where it was like it's not analyzing at all. It's really just reactionary,
Yeah, he just
and
reacting.
his reactions were just hilarious.
It's like if you ever
Yes.
had like a WrestleMania party and you invite people over who aren't really wrestling
It
fans, but they'll
was
watch,
literally that.
and their reactions are just like, "Yo, my God, oh, watch out!" Like,
Um,
it's my favorite thing. I thought that was the funniest thing of the whole night.
like Snoop Dogg's commentary was the same commentary that like Pat's girlfriend was like giving, and it was just like, yeah, it's cool. Like it's people are invested. But
Yeah.
continue on.
No, I thought he was really fun on commentary. It really honestly added to the match because oftentimes, celebrities can take away from a match, but I thought he really added to it. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. LA Knight had working boots on, boy. I'll tell you, I ain't seen him wrestle like that shit ever. And even AJ Styles felt really motivated.
AJ Styles
Yeah,
2-2 at Mania, bro.
yeah, definitely one of his better matches as far as Mania goes. That's crazy. He had a better match with LA Knight than fucking Nakamura and Edge. um, Kevin
Oh,
Owens,
wait,
Randy Orton.
this is fifth Mania appearance?
How many has he done? He did Shane. He had the tag match with Omos, Shinsuke, Edge. Yeah, and this was
Taker.
the fifth one.
Okay,
Taker. So
so
I
yeah,
don't know if Taker count. Yeah.
yeah. So he's done six.
uh
But
okay, he 3-3.
Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, Logan Paul. Hey, well, I mean, what can we say about Logan Paul that we haven't already said before? The guy, he's a natural talent. I did think it was fucking ridiculous that Randy Orton kicked out of a fucking brass knuckle shot from a boxer. I thought that's kind of OP. But whatever.
He's a gimmick boxer, but I
I
get
mean,
it.
he was still a boxer.
Kicking out of brass knuckles in general is
It's
nuts,
just
but it's
nuts.
Mania, baby.
Yeah.
Speed being in the prime bottle and then getting fucking booed. People keep bringing up the RKO. The kick to the stomach was way funnier than the RKO.
It was like the 300 kick. Like he kicked him into like the
Yeah.
hole. It was
Sparta
hard.
kicked him right in his fucking gut, and he went flying back, and the cat flying off of his little prime bottle was fucking hilarious. Yeah, man, just really fun, and I thought it was a really creative finish. Really just fun, creative finish. Bailey versus Io Sky. Probably, I would say, the third best match I've seen this weekend. Maybe fourth, I don't know. But it was definitely top 5 matches this weekend. It was really, really good. I gave it a 4.5. I really liked it. I wish it, even if it didn't get the amount of time as I wanted it to get, it still was really, really good. And they both really showed out. Io is so fucking good, man. And so Bailey, I think Bailey doesn't really get the credit for her in ring sometimes. I mean, we know like Bailey, she's a 4 horsewoman, like she's a legend already. But like sometimes I feel like she doesn't get the credit the other 3 get. So it was nice to really her to get that kind of moment. And then the big match, the main event, man. I'll tell you right now, last year I did not give Cody versus Roman a 5. I absolutely gave this match a 5. 5s across the board. I said I haven't felt that way about anything since Captain America caught Mjolnir and beat up Thanos with it. That's the last time I ever got that excited watching anything. That's how I felt when by the time
Oh, go ahead.
By the time Cena comes out in that match, bro, I'm like on my feet. I'm just like so fucking high. It was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. Yeah, and it was man. Low key, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a little emotional at the end. I'm not even a Cody fan. I got a little emotional at the end.
The fuck you mean you're not a Cody fan?
I mean, like he's
Pod
cool,
over.
but he ain't my favorite.
Let me boot you real quick.
Yeah,
Put in the waiting room. All right. Is that the end of your thoughts, or you want to pass it off?
Yeah,
to
no, I'll let y'all. Yeah, I'll let y'all handle the rest of the main event.
I think I thought here's my thing. Like in my lifetime, I've been watching wrestling since I was like 4, I guess 4 or 5, so like 30 years plus. I can't remember the last time I was that genuinely moved by a babyface win. Like I like way more than Danielson, and at WrestleMania 30, way more than like I mean, like when I was a kid, when Shawn Michaels won the title for the first time, I love that, but like I was a child, doesn't really count. I remember feeling extremely emotional when like Naito finally won at the Dome. You know what I mean? Like that was really, really powerful. But this was my biggest fear going into WrestleMania weekend was like, I think we all had a little bit of it, right? Was like
doubt.
they're making so much fucking money. Can they justify themselves to stretch this out another year or even till Saudi or whatever? Can they do that? And I think the moment when I started to fully realize they were going to stick the landing, I felt so much relief. I felt so like it's so rare, I think, for things to just go well in the world. In anything, not just wrestling, just anything. You know what I mean? That like, you know, whether it's like your sports team or something, or whether it's just like stuff that happens in politics or like music, whatever. It's rare that you have a moment that feels like everything is exactly right in the world. And to me, when he won and all the little moments around him winning, the little stuff with the baby faces coming out with him at the end, like essentially the first time in maybe ever in WWE history, the sense that a bunch of baby faces are all cool with each other and respect each other. Do you know what I mean?
Since like Kofi Mania, but they were all in the back though.
But even that though, that was like Kofi celebrating with like the guys in his stable. Or even like when Brett won at WrestleMania 10, you know what I mean? Like with the moment this moment's kind of paying homage to.
Yeah.
When like fucking Macho Man and all these people came out, Sparkplug, you know, Bob Holly and shit, you didn't get the sense that Brett was like buddies with them or they were rooting for him. It was just, hey, have all the baby faces come out. In this, every single person involved was like connected to the story. Like Cena had like kind of, you know, handshake past the torch to Cody. Like Sammy and Kevin had been there for some of this stuff. Like Jay, like Seth, like Seth's part of the story was so important.
The only person in that ring, I was just like, why are you here? Was LA
LA
Knight.
Knight. I was about to say LA Knight. Yeah, like it was like,
Why are
like
you
with
here?
Punk being out there, like all of them, it felt so real. And in a way, it felt like everyone was not just, I know people got mad about, you know, like, oh, why is Bruce Pritchard coming out or whatever the fuck? But it was like, it did feel like a victory lap. Like all of these people in the ring right now and LA Knight have contributed to this moment, not just for this story, not just for this win, but for like the show as a whole. And I know people kept making the Avengers comparisons and stuff. I know it seemed kind of cheap, but it actually to me was like considerably more fulfilling than the end of Endgame. Like I really was like, they really pulled this off. Like I still feel really good about it. I've seen like 94 fucking TikTok edits about it set to various you know, rap songs from the early 2000s and emotional indie rock songs and shit. And I'll watch 100 more. It's like,
bro,
this is special. It's like genuinely special.
When you mentioned that, I've seen like my TikTok for you page right now is nothing but like people reacting to it and like crying. Like people are genuinely like full on tears down their face, like just happy, just of tears of happiness. Watching somebody, I mean, because I think it's one of those things where everybody can relate to that. You know what I mean? Like finish your story. What's your story? Like if you work hard enough, if you really, really try, you could accomplish something. Like it sounds cheesy when you say it, but like seeing it come in fruition after we watched this guy go through all these trials and tribulations for the last 2 years. I mean, really, if you want to take it further back, multiple since 20, whenever the fuck he left, 2016 or whenever, like we see this guy go from where he was to where he is now. It's just such a fulfilling story. I thought that was really cool. I think it really, even people who weren't Cody fan, or even if you were like the biggest, you know, Roman fan or whatever, you didn't want him to lose, but just seeing that, you know, you couldn't, like, you can't deny how great. Fuck, even Cole's crying, Samantha Irvin's crying. When Triple H came out, he was trying so hard not to cry. Like it was just a really just emotionally like just fulfilling. Like you said, like it's like very rarely do you get moments like that anymore where it's just like it's like the fucking ending of Rudy. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. There's a thing that really stuck out to me, which is that when Cody came back, we were at that Mania, you know, and like I remember during the match, like going into the match, we all were joking around and shit about like, all right, time for Cody to kiss the fucking ring. This motherfucker's about to take 9 pedigrees. It was just funny. And there's a specific part in that match when he starts doing the Dusty tribute shit, and you could hear the entire stadium like reacting like it's a real Dusty match for a second. And I remember looking at Justin and being like, both of us kind of wordlessly, I think, being like, is he about to win? Like, is he going to win this match? And then when he did, it was like, why do I feel good? Because we had been clowning this man for a while now. I think all of us, for the most part, had been like joking about Cody, the 3-star general, for a very long time. And then I remember reading the like whatever. I don't remember what article. There was some art interview he did that went live like that night. I don't know if it was like Sports Illustrated or wherever. And he specifically Sports Illustrated. Yeah, he specifically said, you know what? Like I just woke up one day and realized I'm actually the best in the world. I'm actually the best wrestler alive right now. And like I just realized it. I know what to do now. I remember thinking like everyone kind of thinks that way about themselves.
Doing that bitch on the big stage, proving himself.
But he literally like called his shot and just I think he must have just I wish. I mean, years from now he'll be able to kind of like mythologize this, but there had to be a day where he was in Jacksonville and was watching Raw and going like, they don't have any fucking baby faces. They don't have anybody to fucking root for. You know what I mean? And he realized everyone fucking hates me here. If I do this same shit across the street, it's going to kill. And it did. And I think that that's like my favorite part about the entire Cody story is that so many people in wrestling media have been talking about how like, well, what's wrong with wrestling is this, what's wrong with wrestling is this. What has been wrong with wrestling for a while is there has not been some hero to root for. That is literally it. It's not even more complicated than that. And Cody's biggest gift was he figured out, oh, I'll just do it. No one's doing it, I'll just do it.
Mhm.
And it took 2 years. I mean, his whole career built up to this, et cetera, et cetera. But two manias, he went from a surprise return to this. And I don't think there's ever been an arc that good in wrestling. I think it's just maybe it's hyperbole, maybe it's recency bias, but that shit really meant something to me.
Yeah.
Special, man.
Also, just a couple of things before I go into my part. The reason why I remember that it was Sports Illustrator, because literally after that match finished, Ty, who was sitting right next to me, was reading it
Oh yeah.
as soon as it was over. Um, and I think that the day that like Cody kind of like realized that it was just like I'm just gonna do it at WWE is like probably soon as he had like that falling out with Tony Khan. Or like whatever that weird promo is that he cut on Dynamite that we never really understood until we understood.
Well, that was like the week before he was leaving, though, right? The
Yeah,
Dynamite one.
so
Yeah, it was
like
like a week or two before.
so probably that Monday he was just like, oh no, I'm gonna go cook somewhere else. Um, but my thoughts on night two, I like night two a lot. Obviously, we are all in agreement that it is much better than night one and purposely done so, and then that's how they should do it from often. Something that we didn't mention was Damian Priest coming in, cashing in on CM Punk. And I realized something that was very funny about this is that during weeks, and I haven't been watching a lot of Raw, but weeks and weeks and weeks, Seth Rollins has, or like Drew McIntyre has been saying, Seth Rollins, you're distracted. You're not focusing. You don't have your eye on the prize. You're focusing on like this Cody bloodline shit that doesn't revolve you. You need to worry about what you're doing right now. And I think we all
Whole
mentioned,
time.
yeah, like, but like even while he was saying that, he was going on Twitter just bothering CM Punk, smoking CM Punk, or just doing other thing. And it's just like, you're not focused. Um, and then he says Seth Rollins is not focused, and then soon as he won the title, he lost it because he was so focused on CM Punk, and I find that to be absolutely hilarious.
Yo, exactly. Because like, if you think about it, all of the heels that lost their matches, like all of them lost because that's what their character was like. Their character has been built to that. You know what I mean? Like it
Mhm.
was a build to those
Like
losses. The losses
it,
like
and it
was
and
a
it built a lot to that overconfidence.
yeah, overcompensate. Well, Gunther, same thing. Gunther over the last few months, Gunther got really, really cocky. You
Mhm.
know, like you ain't beating
And
me. You couldn't
and,
even
and
beat Bronson Reed last week. You supposed to beat
but
me?
yeah, that's crazy. But also, it's just like, all right, I've seen Sami Zayn fail multiple times.
Yeah.
This motherfucker ain't smoking me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm over
And
here
then he
blowing
put,
kisses to your wife. Man, what you got to do?
yeah, and then he take that brain bust and say, "Oh shit." Um, but yeah, I do love. I did like the Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre match a lot. I thought it was going to really be on some Goldberg shit. Once the match started with a Claymore, I was very worried. I
Yeah.
said,
Oh
I said,
shit.
I
I was like,
said,
Seth hurt? I was like, is Seth hurt?
is he gonna take the record from Bianca, bro? Um, But yeah, I thought that match was really nice. I think it's amazing that Damian Priest is now WWE champion. He said it on the press conference like he was homeless and now he's WWE champion. Um, I remember watching Punishment Martinez, bruh,
Oh God, yeah.
and I said this nigga is ass.
I remember his name being like, there's certain movie titles you don't want to have because it makes the bad news easier to write the headlines for. And
Mhm.
being a wrestler named Punishment Martinez and your matches fucking suck is just unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely terrible stuff. But like, yeah, like I remember seeing him in ROH when I was like heavily interested in 2014 ROH. Jesus Christ.
Rough.
Um, yeah, so it's amazing to see what Judgment Day do going forward. I know a lot of Raw was setting up stuff up, but like there was a lot of it was more or less just a victory lap episode. But I'll be tapping in. Yeah, I'm gonna try to tap back in again weekly. Um, once I'm no longer busy as fuck. The Pride versus the Final Testament. I thought this match was great. Um, Montez Ford picking up the win, and then Karrion Kross being like, yeah, Lashley, like the biggest moment of the year is really going to your homeboy. So I'm looking forward to the odd dissension that's going to come from the pride off just jealousy alone. I think that's going to be really fun. Not gonna lie, I really don't remember LA Knight versus AJ Styles. I wasn't really paying attention. I'm pretty sure I was eating, but everybody has positive reviews on it, so okay. I was very surprised by Logan Paul retaining. But I'm cool with him retaining. Like I'm cool with any guy winning here. I think I said that on the prediction episode. Um, Kevin Owens, Rand. I think all these guys were all kicking out of stuff that I was just like, why are you doing that? And then I just had to tell myself, it's Mania, baby.
Fuck it.
Yeah, like it's Mania, baby. Like I'm kicking out of every goddamn thing. Bailey, Io Sky, man, I wish he got more time, like because I was enjoying every minute of the match. The what is it? Io reversing the rose plant joint.
That shit was so hard.
I think that is better than I think when Mustafa Ali blocked the RKO when he did like the handstand shit. I think the EO shit is way cooler because she did a full on like flip, bro.
Bro, the shit was so crazy. Like niggas didn't. It took like the crowd the second to react what they just saw. It was like what the fuck? Oh shit!
I like my eyes caught it, but it didn't catch up to my brain yet, bro.
Yeah, I didn't register. I didn't register like what just happened.
EO's a phenomenal talent, man. I can't wait till she gets inducted, bro. She's phenomenal. Oh yeah, she's a Hall of Famer. Oh, let's stop right there. Anybody's a Hall. If you're a part of WWE, you're a Hall of Famer.
Pretty much.
I know I fast forward a little bit, but we're gonna get into the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns match here. I think you guys summed it up amazingly about how good this win felt and all that. I completely agree. I thought it was a monumentous moment. This is a fantastic Mania win. Like and I wouldn't say it's been a really long time since I felt like this way about like a babyface winning, because I definitely felt that for like Kofi Mania. But like this one felt good. Like this one felt great.
Man, it felt good.
Like I'm not trying to like water down what Kofi Mania was, but like this was a really good feel good win. Like and like Dom said, it's been a minute since we got a lot of those. And you know, WWE has been very heel heavy for a really long time, so it's cool that we're getting a lot of faces now.
Yeah.
Vince has not been, I would say he hasn't been perfect about booking good guys, baby faces, whatever. I'm curious how Triple H is gonna do it. I know he is a big fan of like Deep South era type shit. So
he's heel heavy too. So that's where I'm a little concerned. But I think he's doing a better job than.
Yeah.
I think he's more. I don't know what's the best way to explain it. I think Triple H's problem is maybe they last like the heel range lasts too long. They could probably end a little sooner. But yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, he definitely has the old school booking style where it's more about the chase. So I'm interested to see how they handle Cody and Sammy and all them being champions.
Yeah, Bailey and all them. You got a lot of face champions going on. And I really do think that's like really great. The match itself, fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, man.
The one crossroads, the two crossroads, the three crossroads, and even that fucking interlude in the middle.
With all the interferences and shit.
Yeah, that I was just like, this match is going so long. It's having a interlude in the middle, and I thought the interlude was amazing.
Amazing, bro. Even Undertaker coming out didn't even make sense. I didn't even care, bro. I was like, this shit is amazing.
At first, I was just like, why is Undertaker coming? And like, I know people theorize that like, oh, it was going to be like The Rock, but not
Austin?
The Rock, Austin. Yeah,
I think would have made more sense in that situation, but that still didn't make sense. You know what I mean?
So I think if it had been Stone Cold, it would have made sense because there was a point in some of the promos where he kept saying things like, "There's no one in this locker room who's like on my level" and stuff like that, implying that like it didn't matter who came out, he would just smoke them because he was the final boss.
Yeah.
So I think people, myself among them, prematurely excited about the idea of hearing the glass breaking when he was standing in there.
Yeah.
But I actually think realistically, I don't know if it would have been Stone Cold. I think that it also conceivably could have been Brock if things had gone differently with Brock, because of the moment where Brock really kind of Cody earned Brock's respect, and the fact that Brock is one of the people who has been a part of the Bloodline story and the Roman story for so long.
Yeah.
I think that also would have been cool. I really think that the main reason the Taker part works, despite it not making actual real sense, is the sense that he can show up and then disappear. I think that moment of having Stone Cold couldn't really run to the ring with those knees. Brock could because he's superhuman. But again, I think from the timing and the pacing of that specific dramatic moment, it needed to be lights go down, a guy does a choke slam, lights go down, the guy's gone. I think that's what it kind of needed.
I think if it was Stone Cold coming out, Rock would have to meet him halfway at the ramp.
Yes.
Which they already did which they had already did with Jimmy and Jay.
Yeah.
Which is also insane.
Or like he would have to be like ringside or some shit with like a hoodie on or some shit. But
on the Solo.
Yeah. I originally we're gonna talk about Solo in a minute because I thought that part of the match was really cool as well. But yeah, at first I was just like, oh man, it would have been really cool if it was Austin. And I was also puzzled by like Undertaker came out. And when talking about it with Justin, it kind of made sense because Undertaker is your OG final boss, His punishment was come on, undefeated at WrestleMania, bro. You got a problem? You got a problem with the general commission, you go one-on-one with the Undertaker. And I know it doesn't really apply to this current iteration of Roman Reigns, but Roman Reigns took the yard from him.
He did.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I thought when you put it that way, it did make a lot of sense. And honestly, it could be that like, he just did it. Stone Cold couldn't make it, or like that doesn't work for him, brother. I think that Undertaker is a good substitute for that.
Oh yeah, no. If it wasn't going to be Austin, Undertaker was probably the best choice in that situation for sure. Yeah, people who had on hand on the weekend. Yeah, all right, Taker. Go ahead, dog.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be Shane McMahon to get revenge for that that spear he gave him.
That would have been the fucking worst thing.
Could you imagine Shane came out?
The Rock is cutting his promo and then Shane doing his stupid ass punches because he fucking got his legs blown out last Mania.
I think the only thing that would have been worse than it being Shane is if it was fucking Vince. Like I don't know how that could be worse than Shane. And tore his fucking quads on the way.
Oh my god,
that would have been nuts. But Solo Sikoa, I liked that part. I like that interference a lot. Like Justice said on the show, like Cody's like, man, where the fuck them niggas at?
Yeah, you saw how he looked around when he did when he did the trio the first day. Like, where's this nigga at? I know he's coming out.
Yeah, I thought that was genius. And Solo Sikoa's reaction, or how he was like really commanding Roman Reigns to like get it done.
He's like, finish it.
Yeah, and Roman Reigns was like, I know.
I got this. Relax, man. Come on. You see him over here fighting for my life.
He did it. I think that portion is, depending on how SmackDown goes or how if like Bloodline stuff is still going to be going. I think the Bloodline stories that you have going on right now is Solo Sikoa looking at Roman Reigns kind of funny. And you have Jimmy also looking at like them funny because how come no one helped me?
Yeah, I mean, it could definitely. This is my fear with that is though, it's just like Solo's not very interesting. So if he's gonna be the new big bad on SmackDown, I'm just like
I'm not saying big bad, but I'm just saying if like the story, if like this Bloodline story continues,
okay,
that's like your stories going into it. And honestly, I do, like Solo Sikoa for a really long time has just been an enforcer.
Yeah,
him being like him looking at Roman Reigns funny, like because everybody has been like loyal or defiant to Roman Reigns but him. So I do think that is interesting. Is it that like overall like changing character, who knows? But I think that is like a good start to giving him more than just I'm the killer, like I'm the hitter, you know? Um, yeah, no, this main event is amazing. 5 stars. Definitely one of the best Mania main events I've seen in a really long time. Um, this is all time Mania for fucking sure.
Absolutely
Um,
top five. It's in my top five.
recency bias, I don't really give a shit. That shit's amazing.
No, you know
Um,
what's crazy? Now that I thought about it, the last match to actually get me emotional was Battleground when it was Cody and Goldust versus Seth and Roman.
Oh yeah, that
yeah,
was a really good fucking match.
When Dusty came out at the end, I don't know why I got really emotional watching that match. I think because I'm a parent and like that shit makes me emotional now. But like it's really interesting that those same 4 wrestlers, but 3 out of those 4 wrestlers were like involved in the same exact main event and they brought the emotions out. It just really just shows how good all of those all honestly everybody involved, how just like everybody was just so good. It was really the best of the best being just masters at their craft and just knowing how to
mhm.
really just tell a story and including the people who produced it. I don't remember who, I believe Bobby Roode was one of them. Obviously Mike
Yeah,
Hayes.
I thought that was perfect for him. You know, we told him to put
Yeah,
that suit up for a really long time, and then
they told him to put the suit on.
yeah, now he here. And for what is it, movie comparisons? Because I just saw it. Uh, y'all motherfuckers talking about Endgame and shit like that. This shit was like the end of Dune 2. You feel me? Uh, when the lady called Paul an abomination, he told that bitch be quiet. I said, yeah, that shit was heat. Um, I need to see that movie again. But yeah, All Time Mania. If you had to give it a score or a grade or whatever, um, here's your time now because we're also going to be grading for NXT.
What are we grade? What's the scale? Are we doing like letter grade? Are we doing number 1 through 10? What are we doing?
A show did a letter grade, so I don't want to do one, but I think we should do a letter grade because that's consistent with the report card shit we've been doing. I
Fair enough. I'm gonna go A minus. I thought fuck it A. I'll go A. I'll go A.
was like, what the minus for?
You're right.
Jimmy and
It's
Jim was
A.
that bad?
Yeah, actually it was. Jimmy J was that bad, but I'll go A. I'll go A.
No.
Jimmy
I'm
J.
also I am gonna say a minus. The minus is solely gonna be for the USO match. Yeah, I think that's fair.
That shit
Jesus
pissed me
Christ.
off, dog. I was genuinely angry. Like I was mad. Like when that match finished, I was like, that was it. This is what we built up for the last 2 years or whatever the fuck it's been. That?
Yeah, them boys
Come
didn't
I
on,
will,
dog.
deliver.
however, say I will add if that's the worst match at your Mania, that's actually kind of like there's been some real weird shit over the years. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
I guess it's not the worst thing in the world.
Well, we've seen matches that go like much longer that were like as
True,
bad as
true.
that, or inconsequential to the show. I'm pretty sure I didn't say that right, but that's fine. I'm gonna give it an A plus. I thought it was a really good show.
Mm.
I can absolutely ignore the USO match. Because I think there is just like one bad match on a what is it, like a total of 14 matches.
Really bad match though.
I don't know, man. That's a good grade. I
Like
probably can't give it the plus, but since every match didn't hit, but the emotion that the main event gave is like that's a
definitely made up
plus in
for it. It
itself.
definitely made up for
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because honestly, after tonight, I'm not thinking about that Jimmy and Jay Uso match. I wasn't even thinking about it when I got on the plane the following day. Like, um, yeah, that match is ridiculous. But all right, stand and deliver. And normally we never really had a guess when we do letter grade stuff. But feel free to chip in, Dom. Um, and honestly, we're only going to grade people who are on the show rather than the whole roster. I feel like that works a lot better. Um, did you get you guys watch? Did you Dom? Did you watch
I
Stand
watched
and
it and
Deliver?
Deliver. Yeah, I watched it. I
Oh, okay.
wasn't quite as like I was more tuned into it than I was some of the indie shows I half watched this weekend, but I was
Hmm.
not as into it as I was like Mania. So like I watched it,
Yeah.
but like I am glad you wrote notes because I did not remember all the matches on it. If that says anything.
um, Yeah, obviously, since NXT part of the show, I watched it bright and early. Goddamn 8 o'clock.
Oh, jeez, yeah, you're on LA time.
Yeah, I was still in the blankets, bruh. But Joe Gacy versus Sean Spears. This is our pre-show match. Joe Gacy won, of course. Hey man, start putting Sean Spears in the coach T, bruh. Like no more.
Yeah, I think the player part of his player coach role is like kind of unnecessary.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe we should give it a few months to see if like his participation ends up actually helping people. Because I don't think Gacy is someone who is like who needed a lot of help necessarily. But I'm curious
Yeah.
to see if him working with some of the less experienced guys does have some kind of does bear fruit.
Um, I don't know, brother. So far I don't because if we're going off the Rich Holland stuff, he's off to a bad start.
Yeah, that was not good.
Um, and I acknowledge like Sean Spears like role as that coach, as that role as like a preliminary player and stuff like that. Like what is that? I think it was Randy Orton. It was either Randy Orton or Seth Rollins that was just like he's a guy that helped me recover when I was like coming back from injury. And I think that is a very crucial role that somebody should have.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
That doesn't need to be on my TV. Like it doesn't. Like so Sean Spears definitely getting that big fat crazy. Let me pause it preemptively. I'm gonna give him a D, bro.
My goodness. All right. Are we going by individual like
Yes,
people and with
the
it?
individuals in the match. Yeah.
We're doing that. Okay, cool. Then I all right, so I gotta be fair for the pre-show match. I literally woke up and the show was on, so I caught this match halfway out. So I caught it halfway on the wake up on my iPad. I wasn't really paying attention to it. So I don't know what the hell Sean Spears was doing in that match. All I saw was Ridge Holland hit Joe Gacy in the chair, and that's all I really remember from any of that.
That was
So
so unnecessary.
I'll copy what you said. I'll give Sean Spears the D. And yeah, that's all I really got. Dom, I didn't know we were doing
Uh,
individual. I thought we were just breaking
Yeah,
the
this
match.
isn't no
Match
no.
I mean, in terms of that match, I would have given Joe Gacy like a B. He's like solid. He doesn't really compel me particularly much, but I don't have any
Yeah.
actual like criticisms of him. And
Mhm.
then I feel like this was, I don't know, maybe the least I've disliked Sean Spears, so I'm gonna give him a C. Just because I've definitely seen him before where I've been like, why are you here? I didn't
Yeah.
feel like I wanted to kick him out necessarily, but I also was not particularly moved.
Fair assessment. What would be your grade for Joe Gacy, Quan?
See, I thought
Okay.
he's serviceable. I like Dom said, I'm not really like invested in anything Joe Gacy's doing, but he's not like bad. He's just there for me.
Okay, no problem. Um, this one's gonna be a little bit weird because I don't know if we should do these guys individually or as a tag team. But let's start with Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier. How'd you feel about the match? Starting with Quan, because I know you love these guys a lot.
Come on, man. You know these are my guys. So you know what? I have to talk about this week's episode of NXT as well, because like I don't understand why they didn't just have
I
Axiom
don't get
Nathan
it either.
Frazier win the match on the pay-per-view to start the show off hot. I don't really understand what the logic was to that. But whatever. This match itself, I thought was really good. Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they've been working their ass off as a team for months now, and they look really good out there. Obviously, Braun, I've gushed over Braun and how much I love his move set and everything he's done. Since teaming with Baron Corbin, I feel like he really found himself and like kind of what he wants to be as far as like move set wise and character wise. You know, Baron Corbin's having a career resurgence. Everybody in this match gets an A from me because I thought this match was really good, and I really like where everybody's doing, and I'm really happy for Axiom and Nathan Frazier if we're speaking in the future about them being a tag team
Mhm.
champions. Man, it was just really good match and a great way to open the official show.
Dom.
I thought it was really fun. I think that Braun and Baron Corbin have been a surprisingly effective and watchable team. I think Fraser and Axiom are like really, it's fun to have like just two fast, high flying guys, you know, in the vein of you know, the Bulldogs and I guess like Paul London and Kendrick and stuff. Like I think they're really fun. I thought the match was really good. I thought it was really really enjoyable. I would give A's to all four men.
Uh, I'm also giving these guys A's. I think these two teams are fantastic. Normally, I don't really care for tag team matches. Well, like I wouldn't say don't care, but like they're not like some of my favorite matches on the card. But I thought this match was fantastic. Definitely up there. Um, yeah, I kind of wish that they won on the show on the pay-per-view. I don't know why they did it here, but that is perfect. Like it's fine with me. It didn't hurt either guy or either team in my opinion. But
No.
yeah, no, this match was really really good. Just two teams, four individually fantastic wrestlers in their own right, and I think this was good stuff all around. Um,
My only guess would be like maybe they just decided this weekend, okay, we're doing the draft in a couple weeks, so
oh
we gotta
yeah.
get that's the only thing I can think of. Like they just now thought to do the draft or whatever, just to because they gotta get Cody on SmackDown, I guess,
Hmm.
or keep Cody on Raw and put Damian Priest on SmackDown or something. So that's the only thought process I can think of why they would just do the rematch a couple days later just to have them lose it. I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but yeah, it didn't take anything away from anybody.
Yeah.
Both matches were really good, and yeah, man, I'm just really happy for
It's
Axiom and Nathan
it
Frazier.
that it them losing on the pay-per-view then winning it like on the first show or like the show is very WWE. I don't know anybody else that does it. It's a WWE thing, absolutely.
Very much so,
But
yeah.
it's an ever-moving machine, so it's whatever. But still a fantastic match in its own right. Next, we are going to the North American Host division. I'm so glad it's back to this. Obi Femi defeating Dijak and Josh Briggs a triple threat match. I'll pass it over to Dom.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm big boy fucking roughing around type matches, but there's also a part of me that's like kind of sick of the meatification of the presentation of those matches. And I thought this
So,
was pretty good. Like
what the hell of a sequence of words.
I like Obafemi. I don't really like not so much. I don't think there's anything to him as a character yet, other than he's just like big. Which I mean it has worked as a wrestling character for a long time, so I guess I can't knock it. I like D-Jack a lot. I don't. I still don't. I still have never figured out what exactly his character is, other than just like a violent guy who likes cop movies. I guess whatever.
He's White Sham
You
or
know,
White
Shaft. Sorry.
Shaft. White Shaft.
you know, like it's like okay, cool. I don't know how you're gonna get back on the main roster with that, but have at it. And uh, Josh Briggs, I can take or leave. I don't have anything against him. He's had some matches I like. I think this is a thing where I like just like big dude violence, but that I didn't really feel like connected to any of it at all. Not that that has to matter for every single match, but this was like sort of like a B around for me. I was like, this is cool. I like it. I like all the guys involved for the most part, but I wasn't like into it. This is a match I drifted away from the screen quite often.
Oh, okay. Uh, grade for the individuals, just B's all around.
Yeah, I think all of them equally culpable.
No, okay. Quan.
I love this match. I thought this match was really, 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 really good. I gave it a 4.5. I liked it so much. Yeah, they would just beat the shit out of each other. I thought the double. First of all, Obafemi insanely strong. I realized he's a big dude. He's gonna be strong. When he did the fucking Tower of Doom, like Death Valley Driver, both
Mhm.
of those massive men, both of those guys are pushing like 300 pounds, dog. Like to do that, which is so impressive. I thought,
Boy, you ain't see his knee shaking. He definitely felt it, boy.
hey, I mean, I know he felt it. I'm just saying, even to be able to do that. I thought that one camera shot where Dijak gets to feast your eyes off on Josh Briggs, and then you just see Obafemi's hand just grab Dijak, like choked him. That shit was so cool. I thought that was just a great shot. And yeah, man, I just thought all three guys really did their thing. Obafemi, I think, definitely held his own against two, vets, and I think those two vets really made um Obafemi look great. And I think Yeah, Josh Briggs stepped to the plate. Dijak always does when it comes to PLEs. As much as I make fun of him for doing too many flips and shit, when it comes to the big matches, he don't fuck around. Yeah, I really really enjoyed this match. I actually kind of want to watch it again. Maybe I'll watch it this weekend. But yeah, I thought it was great. Um, yeah, I guess I'll give Briggs a B plus. I'll give Dijak in Obafemi A minuses. I thought everybody was just really really good in this match, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay. Uh, all right. So I do agree with Dom, not only because that word is hilarious and I want to hear it again. The mutification of these, like,
The metification of the presentation.
yes, that's definitely like the AEW thing where they like ever
I
since
hate
like
that
the
new
meat
shit.
yeah, it was cool. It was cool the first time, I guess, but now they're like really trying to co-opt it, and now it's not as fun, or they don't have enough big guys to actually support that like that sort of
Not
match
at
style.
all. Yeah.
Um, but NXT can. So we're back to the Host division. I love that the North American Championship is kind of getting away from like the cruiserweight dudes. Not that I don't like cruiserweights, but it's just like they're like a lot of these like really big guys have been lost or like losing to much smaller guys. Although like the much smaller guys, it's fucking Ilya Dragunov. um I think it's cool that these guys have like a place to go, and I think that the Josh Briggs and Dijak were perfect people to pair Obi Femi with. Like Dragon Lee wasn't gonna do it for him. And I don't think he was really supposed to. They were just trying to get him the fuck out of NXT. Lexus
Yeah.
King definitely wasn't gonna be that person to like really get it out of him. Like any character stuff out of him. I don't think these guys necessarily like got any character stuff out of him, but just like I enjoyed like the week to week segments. Like I thought those were nice in their own right, which you know it goes a long way for a match that pays off like this. I thought this match was really good. Um Boba Femi, yeah, man, keep up the good work.
That
Keep that shit in the family, you feel me?
and I think it's so smart for having his next opponent be Ivar, another big boy who is a
Hmm.
veteran and knows what the fuck they're doing out there to keep it
Yes.
going. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Um I give Obafemi a B. I'm gonna give Josh Briggs a B minus. So the minus solely become because I think that he needs to start. I think he needs to win something. Um, like because he what is it? He goes from like the Heritage Cup to like which shout out to no Heritage Cup match on this fucking card. Fire. Um, but like I do think like he needs to kind of like I feel like he needs to win something instead of just like putting in these matches to lose. Um, because I think him, even his other tag partner, I'm forgetting his name right now, Brooks Jensen, sorry. I think they're both fantastic singles competitors. I think they're really good. And then I'm gonna give Dijak an A.
He needs to win something. Dijak needs to win something. He's been losing it.
You know what's
Just to make him a
crazy?
little bit more credible. I don't mind that he doesn't mind taking jobs, but he needs to win something so he can be credible. To me.
I think he's had a fantastic year. That's why I'm like giving him the A alone, but I do agree with that. I agree with that, and I don't know. Call me hypocritical if wish you are. I'm cool with him not having anything, but even though he is doing better work than Josh Briggs, but if
At least win a feud or something. He ain't gonna win a title. At least win a feud. He ain't won a
yeah,
feud.
yeah, he needs to at least win a feud. Honestly, if Dijak ends up NXT champion at some point, I think it would be a long time coming, and I think that would be like really fucking fun.
I think
Um,
people would accept it too. They wouldn't be like, okay, that's fair. He's worked his
yeah,
ass off.
like he might be a guy that loses a lot, but he's giving you like consistently really good matches all the fucking time. So I feel like it'd be very well deserved for um Dijak. Okay. Next match, it is the baddies six women tag. Um Chase U and friends defeat Izzy Dame, JC Jane, and Kalani Jordan. And I'm going to start and say this match is fine. Um like Don, you said like the last match kind of like had you drifting away. I'm gonna say that this match kind of had me drifting away a little bit. Well, not too far. I just wanted to like get some food and shit. But I think that like Kalani Jordan is great. Fallon Henley is great. I think everybody in this match did a really good job. Even Izzy Dame, uh, Kiana James, Kiana James and Fallon Henley. I don't know what's up with those two, but they're really fucking good. like if
Well,
Roxanne,
Fallon was working a little bit before she got to NXT, so she might
yeah,
have a little
yeah,
bit more experience.
Kiana James too. Um,
Yeah.
Kiana James, I believe she trained with Tyler Breeze actually. And then she was doing stuff on the indies or whatever. Um, I think those two are really good. And like, the draft is coming up soon. If Roxanne and Lyra left, I think NXT would be in a pretty decent spot with those two at the top. I really do think so. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they're really good competitors, and it seems like they're reigniting that feud too on TV. So I would love to see more of it. Um, I just to start, I'm gonna give Fallon Henley a B. I don't think she's been doing like too much great. Well, she hasn't been too active during the year, but I think in this Chase U feud, I think she's been doing a lot of good stuff. And then some cool stuff with Rin Sinclair, even though I don't think she's getting over at all, but I think Fallon Henley still looks good, even though she's not really rubbing off on her. Um, what is it? Calamity Jordan, I think, be Thea Hale. The Chase U stuff has been very dominant on the TV shows more than we think. So I'm glad they got on the actual show and not on the pre-show, because a lot of the Chase U stuff it dominated NXT for like at least 7 months. And they've been constantly on our TV for like a year now. So
Two years, 3 years, low key. They've been Chase U's been a thing since the beginning, since NXT 1.0.
yes,
I mean 2.0, my fault.
yeah, consistently giving really fun, really either like their segments range from like really funny to that was oddly really good. Um, so that's great for them. Izzy Dame, I know this grade is going to be kind of like high, but so far she has not
I don't think she's
put
bad
in.
at all.
Yeah, I don't think she's bad
bad.
at
I
all.
think
So
she's pretty decent.
I'm gonna give her a B. I think JC Jane. Oh, sorry. Thea Hale, B plus. Izzy Dame, I'm gonna give her. I think everybody in this match gets a B. But Keanu James is gonna get an A. I'm a big fan. All right. To you, Quan, while I write the rest of the names down.
6 woman tag. I thought it was cool. What did I give the rating? Let me see. I gave it a 3. I thought it was just a very standard match. I thought everybody got a little spot in. But I thought Izzy Dame definitely stood out to me the most in this match, not because she was like anything like amazing, but just the fact that she was on such a stage where this is obviously the biggest crowd she's ever worked in front of, and I don't feel like she failed or anything.
Yeah, she
Everybody,
hasn't made much appearances on like NXT proper before being here. Like,
yeah. So to beat for like 13, 16,000, whatever the hell it was,
mhm.
I mean, amount of people just being there, I think that's really impressive. If I were to give grades out, Izzy Dame, I guess a B. Kiana James. Honestly, you know what? All the girls get a B. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I
like
don't
I
have a
feel
lot
like
to say about this. Everybody did
uh
perfectly fine.
yeah, sorry I went so long for him on the match, but I'm just like
No, you're
I thought
fine.
I thought this match was like really good, even though it wasn't really much. I thought it was really good though. Dom,
I did not watch this match.
you're fired.
Not even because of like anything like I had any animus towards it. It was more like the match previously made me drift and lose attention. And then I started trying to find that Bryan Danielson Blue Panther match online for like 20 minutes. And then when I gave up looking, I looked up and the next match was on. So I didn't even register that I missed this match until I saw the list just now.
Fantastic. So I'm just gonna put a question mark on all your grades. Actually, I should just put a big fat X. But No time for that, Batman. Next match we have Roxanne Perez versus Lyra Valkyria, and I will let you start, Quan.
Um, thought it was I thought it was fine. I gave it a 3.5 on my spreadsheet. It was
Mhm.
cool. I don't. It didn't. Something about it didn't maintain my attention, and it wasn't the fault of the two workers. I thought they did. I thought they did good. I don't know. I just didn't. I don't. I gotta be honest. I'm not feeling Roxanne as a heel. It's not grabbing me,
Mm,
and I don't know what it is.
okay.
Maybe I feel like I don't. Maybe it feels like it's just too basic, standard kind of heel. Like there's no real like. There's no nuance to it. It's just like I turned because shit didn't go my way, and I'm blaming the fans. I don't know. It's like it's not hitting for me.
Yeah,
So like
yeah,
I just don't really like. I'm watching this. I just
yeah.
don't really care that much.
The whole reason for her being heel is very weird, but like when she was a babyface, she was like getting booed and shit or whatever in like favor of like Tiffany Stratton, which I get it. It's kind of hard. But I think like we could like both of those women and like we didn't have to like boo Roxanne to prop up Tiffany. Um, but now that Roxanne's heel, they want to cheer her, and it's just like I hate the PC crowd. Like, PC Full Sail, same niggas. But I hate that crowd a lot.
Mm. I don't know.
Um,
I just wasn't too interested in this match. I thought both workers were great though. If I were to give them, I would give them both B pluses.
okay. Uh Dom.
I am a huge Roxanne fan. I did not understand the logic in turning her heel. Um, and I saw like a tweet earlier that was like every time Roxanne makes a face as a heel, it's just this, and it was an image of like a squishmallow that was like an octopus, and it actually looked
Yeah.
exactly like her, and I was like, But like I like
I
her so much that I don't care. And I also think that in this match, in terms of like promos and like facial expressions and stuff like that, I think that she probably has a lot of work to do to be more effective as a heel. But in terms of the actual match itself,
Yeah, the in ring was
she
great.
essentially just wrestles kind of like they used to have Danielson do when he was like a cowardly heel who was still very effective technically. So I was like, okay, you're just gonna have like this like cute pixie girl uh wrestle like Chris Benoit. Okay, like that's I can get with that. I mean, it's weird, but like fuck it. I like her a lot. I think there's a lot of upside. I think that the long money in her is not as a heel, so I
Yes.
look at this as sort of being like this is an elective she has to pass to graduate. Like like maybe this is just like hey, you gotta be able to show that you can do this too, and like she'll figure it out and then go back to what she's like actually good at. Uh,
Hmm.
but overall, I thought the match was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I'm not I am not anti Valkyria whatsoever, but I never really got that into her. So like,
Same.
uh,
I don't
I don't.
like you niggas, man. What's up with y'all?
It's not like I think she sucks or something. It's just a matter of like I just for whatever reason never fully connected with her. So I thought it was a good match, and I thought she was good in the match. But I continue to have like no real feelings about her, and that might be a me thing because I watch NXT most weeks, but there are weeks I don't pay as much attention to, so maybe I've just missed stuff, But I really like this match a lot. One of my favorite matches of the night. I'd give them both A's.
I don't like y'all niggas, man.
I'm
Now,
sorry.
now I feel weird gonna give this shit some praise after y'all two was just like, I don't really fuck with it. I don't really get them. But I thought this match was really good. I will say I don't think this match is better than the Tiffany and Lyra match. I thought that match was a lot better than this. I do agree. I don't think that Roxanne, like, I don't hate that she's a heel, but like it's kind of dumb that she's a heel. Um, I definitely thought like I don't know, like could have they've done the I never really lost the title face versus face. Like if they could book it, I think they should have like did that because yeah, Roxanne doing the you people, booed me or like whatever, didn't really care when I lost the title and stuff like that. And it's just like, yeah, man, if I know that crowd is stupid as fuck, you know they're stupid as fuck. Um, but overall, I do think this match is very good. Um, I would probably give them both A's. Uh, the I like Lyra. I think she's cool. I mean, I always liked her presentation and her look since I first saw her on NXT UK. So that's where my bias lies. Like her and Ginny were my favorite. Now Ginny doesn't wrestle anymore, so I'm rooting extra hard for Lyra Valkyria to win till the end of till the ends of the earth. Um Something in the mess that I noticed and I thought that was really fun is that the pop rocks did not work.
Mhm.
And I think that because that was like her face finisher. I think we need to continue, like, just for characterization stuff, like start pushing away from like the
Yeah, she
pop
doing
rock thing.
that little submission with the rings of Saturn joint.
It's,
Is that what she doing?
I think it's literally a label lock.
Okay.
Or like it's the Johnny Gargano joint. The
The
Gargano
Gargano
escape.
escape, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Some kind of like crossface variation.
yeah.
I think that her still doing the pop rocks and like I guess we'll talk about it later, like on Raw and on NXT, it's like stop doing that. I mean, like that to me, that is a bigger hole in her game as a heel than like her making fake angry faces and people thinking it's like adorable.
Yeah,
It's
like
just
Roxanne is
not
like cute
it's
as
just
shit. Like
not a
it's not
heel
working.
finisher. It's very weird. Like just have her tap people out. It just fits. I think fits so much better.
Yeah, like it worked here. Like it made sense to me here, but like yeah, on NXT and on Raw, I just thought like let's start moving away from that. And I think we will in the future. Hopefully. If you're listening to this, Sean. Um, yeah, no, I think I'm very curious how this title feud is gonna go moving forward. Um, or I mean how her Roxanne's title reign is gonna go moving forward. Cause I don't know. I think like I can't think of any
Well,
faces that could like
she's about to get drafted, so I don't know how long she's going to have that belt. To be honest with you,
um also I just think that like a lot of the other faces are either not ready to face Roxanne and are busy because it seems like they're about to reheat what is it Fallon Henley versus Kiana James, so they're not going to face her. um Dog, I like her a lot, but Triple H, I mean, HBK, don't you dare put what is it, Roxanne versus Thea Hale on my screen. Um, and then Lyra's going to be out for God knows how long. So yeah, it's really weird right now. Like I can't think of any like challengers for her right now, and
it might be to you.
that's gonna be crazy for real, for real. Like I think she's good, but I don't think she's like face Roxanne type good. You feel me? But it's
I mean, who else is
developmental.
going to do it? You know what I mean? I was say if
It's just develop.
anybody,
Uh,
Tia's over. She's had a great character arc over the last year.
mhm.
She had her chance last summer, didn't get it. I think this is a good time to fuck it. Let her. If
Try again.
if they can give Oba Femi the fucking title, they can give Tia Hale the title, especially if they're going to be two belts going
Oh,
forward.
brother. Hey, we ain't gotta give him the title now. Um, also,
Especially if they're going to be two belts. You know what I
also
mean? Going forward.
HBK. I know it was probably Cap, but HBK was just like, hey man, just because you drafted don't mean you done here. You feel me?
That is true too.
Von Wagner's still here.
He never left.
That nigga's been a free agent forever. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna give these two women A's. I think I said that already, but yeah, no. I remember talking with Justin. I was just like, oh, NXT is pretty like even on the face and like heel side, but now with like Roxanne facing the title, I didn't think about it like skill wise. Like,
Yeah.
well, I definitely would have said Fallon Henley, but it seems like she's busy right now, so I don't know about anybody else. Um, and also I didn't think Roxanne was gonna win, so because I thought she
I
was
didn't
just gonna get
either.
drafted anyway.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. That was the result puzzled me, but I mean, unless like Lyra's hurt or something, I don't know if they like wrote her off.
Yeah. And then just to talk about NXT, so we don't really have to do that much cleanup when we talk about the NXT part. Um Lyra says she wants a rematch in a sling. I was like, girl, you crazy? And then Tatum Paxley comes out and then throws her against the steel steps. I think that Tatum is just obsessed with whoever has the title, and I think that is cool. I guess you only want to surround yourself with runners, right? Uh,
You know what I mean?
well, and honestly, I think Tatum versus Lyra will be pretty fucking cool. Um,
I'm not 100% sold on Tatum in the ring.
really,
Yeah,
I think she's been doing very like her and Izzy. I feel like Tatum's been doing really good stuff on like NXT and like what is it, Level Up as of late.
I don't watch Level Up,
Um,
so I don't know.
I catch glimpses and stuff. I don't really see her fucking up or anything. And what is it? You remember when she did the tag match with the Kabuki Warriors? I thought she was like fantastic in that.
Yeah, she did
Um,
good on that one, but it's also against the Kabuki Warriors.
I know you were gonna say that, but I had to have that be one of my points. Um, I don't know. We'll see what happens moving forward. Um, Next NXT Championship match, we got Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo. Um, I'll let you start, Dom.
All right, so I love Ilya Dragunov, like probably maybe my favorite living wrestler right now, like at the moment. Uh,
Yeah.
I I don't give like a fraction of a fuck about Tony D. When he first debuted in 2.0 and he had like the very obvious like 1994 WWF type character, I thought it was very funny. And I liked
Hmm.
the idea of like there being like a Razor Ramon type guy or whatever. I thought, oh, this is funny. But then like I could never get into it beyond that. It was like an irony joy for maybe like a month, and then he is just still there. Um,
Hmm.
but I thought he did really well in the match. I mean, like he's someone who I think is probably going to be solid with the right hand, but he's not someone with that character that I can like genuinely be compelled by. But the match itself was really good. I don't remember the last time Ilya had like an actually bad match, or when it will ever happen ever again, to be quite honest. But it was like good. I mean, it was about as good as you can get for like the NXT title match on a show that is headlined by like this like very personal feud. You know what I mean? I don't know who
Hmm.
else they could have had challenge for the title that would have mattered. So overall I thought it was really good. It was good and violent and stuff, and I kind of like the moment of like Tony not wanting to cheat and stuff. I thought that was like an interesting
Hmm.
wrinkle for his character. Not interesting enough for me to change my opinion of him, but it was like nice. And yeah, I don't know who you put anybody in the ring with Dragonov and I get to see 2 to 3 H bombs. I'm like cool. That's good. Whatever. Doesn't matter who it's with. So Ilya A plus, and then Tony D like a B minus.
Wait, that was like three pluses.
Like 4 pluses, yeah.
Okay, and then B minus for the boy. Four pluses. Quan.
I gotta be honest, I don't really remember much of this match. I think just the fact that I've watched so much wrestling in the last
Honestly, that is
5 days,
fair. That is fair as fuck.
I really don't remember anything that happened in this match. Um, I can tell you how I felt, how I feel about um Tony D'Angelo. I think the character has evolved. It kind of went from like Dom said, the really Soprano style, stereotypical mob boss type deal. The kind of, I mean, it still is that, but like I'm not really sure how to explain it.
It's
But
it's
like,
it's
I do
it's
see progression.
yeah. It's very less about him being Italian,
Yeah,
and
more
then
about just who he is as a
yeah,
person.
and you know
Um,
he's not doing like the when he comes out the crowd isn't doing like the spicy meatball hands anymore.
yeah. But as far as the match go, I did according to my spreadsheet, I gave it a 4, so I really liked it. But also, it's dragging off. Like I said, um, he's my Will Ospreay to his Melter. So I'm gonna give it a high rating every time. Dragunov and Dragunov. He does his thing, man. Like he got the formula down of kind of like that real brawler style. Every fight looks like it's a fucking fight to the death, and that's what he does. I think he just brings the best out of anybody who's really wrestling. It just makes them look great.
Mhm.
Um, Even to the point where sometimes he's even overselling for people. Like a couple weeks ago when he was selling for stacks, I was like, this is a little unnecessary, but okay. But yeah, man.
Because he was trying to sell that hand shit.
What the fuck was that? But yeah, man. I mean, that Dragunov, man. I'm happy you're gonna get drafted. Yeah, man. I mean, A plus for Dragunov. My guy, Tony D'Angelo, B plus, man. I think he's doing great. I think he's figured it out in the ring. I think he feels a lot more comfortable out there. I think he understands who he is now, who his character is, and what he's doing in the ring.
Mhm.
I think it took longer than the rest of the other guys, the rest of the kind of that War Games crew or whatever, but he did figure it out, and I think that's what's most important here. And he felt it didn't feel unnatural him being in a world title match.
Yeah. I would say that just the War Games crew comment. I think he's better in ring than Grayson Waller, but Grayson Waller kind of like that shit
I don't
kind of like
know.
wrestling is very secondary to like the show he on, or like to the character he plays. Um, but
I low key
yeah.
think Waller's underrated in the ring.
Oh, I don't
I
think
think he's
he's
pretty
bad.
good.
I don't think he's bad. I think Tony Angelo is just better. I've been saying it
Okay.
for a very long time. I think it's weird that he's Italian, mob boss, and he come out there wrestling like Kurt Angle. I think that shit is very weird. Like I
But
would be
his
sold on
character is
I
is
would
a,
be
is
sold
a
on the character if he wasn't like
collegiate wrestler.
yeah, like I just think that's weird.
Why can't he be a mob boss and also a collegiate wrestler?
Cause you're talking about getting niggas whacked, beating niggas in the alley. And when I see you Olympic wrestling, I'm thinking that you out there doing broken like
He's doing a double leg
bro
takedown in the alley.
yeah, like that's just weird.
He's
Hey,
just
you
like
know what I mean?
he's an alternate universe Tony Soprano who did have the makings of a varsity athlete. That's all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he fell into the wrong crowd, natural athlete, but he just fell in the wrong crowd. Family
Uh
business. I get it.
crash out.
Yeah, it happens.
Also his entrance being a soprano reference, I thought that was very funny.
That was
Um,
cute. A little cute little entrance.
yeah. Is that was that the finale of your thoughts, Quan, or
Yeah, that's it.
grade?
The match itself, I gave it a 4, so I guess that would be what?
I
A
meant the
B?
individual wrestlers.
Oh, I did. I said Tony D'Angelo was a B, and I said
Okay.
Dragon was A plus.
A plus. All right. I thought the match was good. Like Dom said, you give me an Ilya Dragunov match where he doing 2 to 3 H bombs. Honestly, you got to give me like 2 H bombs, and then you got to give me the super joint because that's just crazy. Um, yeah, you're in there with Ilya Dragunov, and I never thought. Well, I don't think Tony D'Angelo's a I don't think he's a bad wrestler. I think he's fantastic in ring. It's just the only problem that I have with this thing is like I don't think this match probably has like the worst story out of most of these matches, except like the pre-show match. Like week to week, the
Terrible. I didn't like any of
like
it.
the kidnapping of like dragging off and all that sort of shit. That didn't really like puzzle me. And then they try to like, up the story a little bit or like create some doubt with like Ilya like hand hurting or whatever, but like he didn't even come out like with his hand taped up or anything. So what was all that screaming and shit about, bro? Um But I thought the match was really good. I really did. It's cool. Like, yeah, Ilya Dragunov doesn't have a bad match. Just to keep this on brand, I also give Dragunov an A with multiple pluses. Um, you want to guess how many pluses I put on this?
3.
Yes.
There you go. Come on, look, I know you, man.
And
Come on, man.
Tony D'Angelo, I'm gonna give him a B plus. No insult, but I do think he is a B plus player. In the best way possible.
That's crazy. That's become an insult.
Yeah,
B plus is good.
which is crazy because like I think you're a passing, you're passing, bro. Um, Next, our main event, uh, Trick Williams defeating Carmelo Hayes, and there no stipulation on this, which I thought was really weird. I think they should have turned this bitch into a street fight.
I mean, it was basically a street fight, or at least a no DQ.
Yeah, they should have made this bitch a street fight. Really get in there.
Because Ava said she was like be lenient on the rules to the referees. So
Just make it a
I mean,
street fight then.
they use chairs and shit. They use them little weapons and shit.
Yeah, but thoughts on the match, Quan.
I like the match. I like the energy. I liked everything. My only complaint I think a lot of people said this. It was kind of short. Like I feel like I was like, that's it. Like even the finish, like the finish was cool. Like it was cool, but like it felt like a TV match. It didn't feel like a match where this was like the big ender of
Hmm.
this really heated feud. But I guess it will be next week now. But like, you know what I mean? I feel like it didn't. It definitely had heat to it. I'm not gonna say it didn't have heat, but I don't know. I guess I had higher expectations of what this match was gonna be, and it
I also
wasn't
did.
bad. Like I'm saying, it was just like, okay, that was cool. I mean,
Hmm.
Trick got his moment. I guess it was more about the moment than the match itself in that
Yeah,
situation.
absolutely. It was definitely like the crowning of Trick Williams, who definitely came a very, very long way.
Yeah.
Um, like I will always say that I was there for the beginning of NXT 2.0. So you see a lot of I saw a lot of growth of these wrestlers, and Trick Williams is
We
he has
didn't
hit a
we
straight.
didn't like we got to be honest. We didn't think he was gonna be shit
No,
at all. At no point, oh, this guy gonna be anything.
he hit a stratosphere I did not think was possible,
Mm-mm.
for him. Like he cracked every ceiling that I imagined for him. So all that's really great. But continue, or you could pass it off to Dom.
Nah, Dom, go ahead, man.
I so the way you felt about the other match where you're like, I don't remember this because I watched so much wrestling. I remember liking this match, but I don't remember the match very well. I think I'm a big mark for Trick. I think he's like really, really strong.
Mm-hmm.
So like the sky's the limit for that guy. I've been kind of like not sour, I guess, but just like soft on Mello for a while now. I thought the whole beginning of his NXT title reign was kind of like muddled and weird, and I've just been kind of like sometimes when a wrestler doesn't have a lot of depth to their character or to their presentation or their whatever, and you like figure out what their thing is, and there's not anything more to it than that, they become tiresome to watch. And
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
to me, Mello is just one of those things where once you just kind of figure out that he like always sounds kind of inauthentic, always sounds kind of like he doesn't believe what he's saying and doing, always sounds like just an annoying tweet. It's very difficult to like care about anything that happens with him. And the only thing he's done of late that I've been into is the stuff with Trick. And it's kind of made me
Hmm.
realize like I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do after this. I mean, he's a very talented guy. I'm not saying he like sucks or is dead in the water or something, but it's just like
Something's missing. I've been saying
something
this for
is
a long.
missing. Yeah,
I've
and I
been
don't
saying this
know.
for a long time about Carmelo.
Yeah, I think we've been saying this since the Apollo 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah,
Or
yeah, about.
Yeah, it's just I mean, it's unfortunate too. It's like I feel like Sean may be related to a lot of this just because once again their entire arc is just the me and Diesel in 1995. Like my best friend is
Yeah.
less talented than me, but he's taller. Um, I feel like maybe there was just it was very triggering for him when he saw the two of them together and was like, oh my God, this is just like me. Mello, don't take pills, But overall, I think Trick has come out really great with the whole thing. He's got great presence. He's got that aura. I mean, I know people are fucking killing that word on the internet right now, but uh, he's just really fucking good. He's fun. You know what I mean? Like you get excited about seeing him. You just can tell this guy's gonna be like a star. Whereas
Yeah.
Mello, I feel like he seems much more to me like a guy who's like in ring is his biggest like his strong suit, and I don't think his in ring is good enough to be his strong suit. Like
You just nailed that exactly on the head, bro. That's
Mhm.
literally
That
what you
was
just
a
said right there. Is what I've been trying to explain to myself for so long. You just did it or hit the nail on the head right there. That makes
it's
so much
like for a while it was like, oh well, he's so much better in the ring than Trick. It's like I mean, I guess, but I mean, like,
sense.
not enough for it to fucking matter, So,
Mhm.
Yeah.
um,
um
it's kind of sad, actually, a little bit. Like, it's a little bit sad considering that he like was one
a
of the
phenomenal talent.
initial, yeah, and one of the initial like main players of 2.0, and also just like very clearly an HBK baby and stuff, and like one
Yeah.
of his like prime students. And now when I see him, I'm just like, okay, he's just gonna
You
be talking that weird bullshit, sounding
you know
like
what
no one talks that way.
you know what I notice about a lot of Sean's babies? They can't talk.
Mm.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess Sean wasn't like
Sean was
some.
he wasn't known for to be the talker of
He
talkers.
wasn't a great promo in the sense that he was a great talker or something, but Sean at least like Sean was great at, like emotion. Do you know what I mean? Like Sean was really good at making you like
Yeah.
feel stuff, and
Hmm.
like Mello never makes me feel anything
No.
other than who I cannot count how many times he says something. I'm like, who the fuck talks like that? Where is this
Yeah.
coming from?
Well, I'm not sure if it was on the Discord, but someone said he talks like every NBA Twitter tweet.
Yeah,
I'm just
literally
like,
that.
yeah, like I think like Carmelo Hayes, like I think the only issue that we really have is the fact that like how he talks, and I think in his promos, I don't think he sounds necessarily. I don't. Well, the message isn't really lame or anything like that, or what he's saying. I just think it's solely delivery.
Yeah.
Because like, what is it? Well, y'all would know more than me. Was Diesel a better talker than HBK?
God no. Um, what he had. Here's the thing.
Trick Williams could talk.
What Diesel had going for him was that he just looked fucking cool. He was like really tall, and he like didn't say much to at first. He was just like a cool guy following Shawn Michaels around,
Mhm.
and he was a tall, big guy at a time when the steroid scandal had just happened, and everyone who was left and wasn't on the juice anymore was small. And Nash's whole thing was he was just still that big. That was his claim to fame. And the second he actually got put on top prematurely, they turn him into people are going to talk about Roman and the suffering succotash till the end of his life, but Diesel as champion in 1995 was way worse. Like in terms
Mm-hmm.
of being presented in the polar opposite of what got him over. So like Trick already has going for him that he's just like likable and like charming and like cool. Like
Mhm.
women, people are attracted to him. You know what I mean? He just has like a real presence to him. And like I talk a lot sometimes when it comes to wrestling, and I feel like a lot of my friends always think I'm just being ridiculous about it. But like I think height is so important.
It is.
And
It's a looks business.
like
I agree.
no matter how you have to be a certain kind of good and a certain level of good for me to forget that you're like 5'7" or 5'8" or whatever.
You got to be
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels. You got to be Shawn Michaels good. You got to be Brian Danielson good.
And the thing is, when people talk about Shawn and Brett being like small guys back in the day, they were still bigger than some of these small guys, you
Yeah,
know?
Yeah,
like
sure.
what is it? They'd be like, "Oh, this dude's small or whatever," and he'd be like 6'2" or 6'1".
Yeah, yeah. You know, now you get guys where it's like, oh, this looks like a guy that is gonna help me at like Kroger, you know, like
Hmm.
Yeah.
and nothing's wrong with that. You can still be really good and smaller, but it's like there has to be other parts of you that make up for that, or you have to be presented in a way where I don't care about that. And I just don't think Melo has that. But yeah, for
Hmm.
Trick. Trick was great. I thought the match was, the parts of it I remember were good. Um, I'm excited for Trick's future. I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen to Melo with Melo, whatever, but I don't want to like write the guy off, you know. I
Yeah.
would say like a B for Melo and then like an A for Trick.
Okay. B A. Um, I'm going to echo those grades, and then Quan, we'll get yours in a minute. Um, yeah, this match I thought it was really good, but yes, I also think it was very short. But seeing how stuff continued on NXT, I don't think this is going to be the end of their feud. When when Carmelo Hayes attacked Trick Williams, somebody in the I didn't have like it up too loud, but they mentioned steel cage. I'm not sure if they're going to do a steel cage match between
Yeah,
these two.
yeah, next week.
They're going to do a steel cage match. Okay, next week.
So yeah, next week, and then spring break-ins in 2 weeks is going to be Trick Williams versus Dragonoff,
Sure, going to do a crazy dude. Um,
which I
but
think
I
he's
feel like,
winning.
I think we might get a much better match. In that steel cage. It's gonna be really fun. I think so. But like, yeah, no, this match definitely left a lot to be desired, and I think we're gonna get what's desired next week, or at least I hope. Um, I agree with everything you guys said about Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes' character. Um, and I'll just reiterate that I think that Carmelo Hayes, like what he just needs to deliver his words differently because it does sound like everything that he says had like a page break on the script. Um, like it doesn't flow naturally as like Trick Williams does. And sometimes it might be just because sometimes Trick Williams just talks too fast sometimes, but like that's natural in a conversation. Like I guess like different like speeds of which you speak.
Yeah,
Um, but like yeah, with Carmelo Hayes is just like, yeah, I'm gonna put him on the shirt. pause. I'm gonna be NXT like it's very formulaic how Carmelo Hayes speaks. But honestly, if he like just speaks naturally, and I don't
You
know.
know what it is? I think I have a theory on this.
How many times are you gonna say with that? We know it.
I know. I have a
Oh, go
theory.
ahead.
I got a theory, right? I feel the same way about Logan Paul. I
Oh, okay.
think that wrestling fans, we have been so programmed on how wrestlers are supposed to talk, specifically in WWE. There's a certain cadence to how you talk.
Mhm.
And I'm not 100% sure how much of a fan Trick Williams was. He might have been more of a casual fan. But for the example of Logan Paul, you could very much tell he was a very casual fan. So when Logan Paul does promos, it doesn't sound like a wrestler. It just sounds like Logan Paul. You know what I mean? Because that's what he's just used to. He's used to being himself and speaking in public as himself instead of in a wrestler's cadence. So I think Carmelo's problem is I think it's very obvious he grew up as a fan. So he's like it doesn't come off as natural, especially when you're standing right next to a Trick Williams who comes off sounding very natural. And I think maybe leaving Trick after this might help him in the long run because he won't get compared to him as much. But I don't
Mhm.
know. But that's kind of like a theory I've been going along with some of the more NIL athletes or the kind of the people who aren't didn't grow up as like hardcore fans of wrestling like we are or whatever. That's kind of where I've been going
I
with
think
it.
there's some truth
My
to that in
mind.
the sense that like wrestlers, so like in comic books, right? The people that write comic books, all they ever read are comic books, but regular books, or they didn't plays or poetry. So a lot of the
Yeah,
stories they come up with are just okay. This is just what you read growing up. You're just kind of creating it. And some wrestlers talk like they think they're supposed to talk. It's like this is the only thing I'm drawing my experience
yeah.
from. And with Mello more specifically, I think it's not just the fact that he sounds like a generic wrestling promo guy. It's also that like the best wrestling characters are it should be like you, but more so. There should be some truth to what you're portraying, that you're drawing from who you are as a person. And
You
Mello
don't
to
feel them.
me always feels like a person where I don't know if he knows who he is or what he is or what he wants.
Yeah,
Uh, I mean, this is just coming from a guy who took a lot of like theater in high school, but just like I can every time he cuts a promo, I can imagine a drama teacher walking in and being like, "What do you want right now? What are you thinking about? Like, what is your motivation?" And him just being like, "I'm him," and you'd be like, "Oh, he's not. You're not getting it. Like, there's more to it than this, and you're just never gonna. I don't want to say never gonna get it, but there is a sense that he like." If you don't know who you are and you're not sure in who you are, you don't have that inner confidence, you're always going to sound inauthentic and you're always going to sound like you're performing, which is not a bad thing. Obviously, this job is a performance, but if it feels like you're just faking it, that doesn't work. You know what I mean?
you're
People
you're
see right through it.
acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense. You said it much better
Yeah.
than I did.
Yeah, I agree. It's just especially if you watch a lot of different mediums and stuff like that, like, you're not only watching wrestling. Um, you can see how weird it is hearing this motherfucker speak. But that is it for NXT. Quan, I mean,
hmm
that's it for Stand and Deliver. Do you want to give your grades for Hayes and Williams?
Trick, I'm gonna give him an A. Carmelo, I'll give him a B plus.
Uh, okay, that's good. And then just general cleanup that happened on NXT. Well, post Stand and Deliver, we had Ilya Dragunov making his Raw debut against Shinsuke Nakamura, which I have to go watch.
Ooh.
I told myself I'll watch it after this, and then my cousin called. Um, Roxanne and Indy had a match on Raw. I'm not gonna watch that. Um, Gianna James and Izzy Dame defeated Fallon Henley and Kalani Jordan to get their win back. So it's about to be JC, you lost, not us. Um, John Evans,
Devon
um,
Evans.
Javon
Hey,
Evans scripts. I'm fucking
that
with the
kid,
kid. I think
that
he
kid.
cool,
I see the vision.
but the tagline that you bouncy, let's stop that shit right now, brother.
Hold on, that might be he might be on something with that one.
No, let's
He
not do
might
that.
be. I don't know.
You niggas thought that Bronson Reed was something onto something when he was calling himself the Dick Boy. Let's stop
Not
that
not
right
me.
now.
Not me.
Let's stop
The
that right
bouncy
now.
Vixer, that nigga bouncy.
Let's stop that right now.
Oh,
But
man.
I thought it was a cool match. It's kind of what I expected from, two high or two flippy niggas for real.
That's the first time I've seen him like wrestle for real though. I've always seen like little clips to see a full match. I'm really impressed by some of the stuff he was doing. It's shit I've never seen before, at least.
I'm not saying that level up needs to be part of the spreadsheet, but I think you
I
should just
can't
lock in just a little bit.
I can't do it, bro.
Hey
I
man,
can't.
you
He's
used to
already
watch
covering so much fucking ground.
you
I can't do it, bro.
nigga,
Collision is a struggle, dog.
motherfucker, you used to also cover dark, bruh. So
I didn't cover Dark. I would just watch Dark when I was going to bed, or like if I'm working, I'll throw it on
go
the background.
do that with level up, bruh.
I might. We'll see.
What is it? Dark and Dark Elevation dead, bruh.
Sure.
Um,
That's sad. I was thinking about that the other day. I miss Dark.
shit, I ain't. Um, Roxanne Perez versus Natalia. I thought it was a fine match, but
I thought it was good. Like I was genuinely surprised how good that match was. I like sometimes Natty reminds me like, oh yeah, she's actually good at this sometimes.
she
Every once
she
in a while.
she's a boat.
She's a boat.
Um, no quarter catch crew. The family defeats no quarter catch crew. No
Minus
Gulak.
Gulak. Oh, they no Gulak.
Yeah. Because somehow he touched Ronda Rousey's drawstring when reaching for a handshake. Honestly, it could be true. But my nigga, how hard were you reaching for that handshake, my brother? Like,
That's what
how
I'm
badly
saying.
did you need that shit? Like a high. I never had. It might not be true, but like
I just
I
don't see why she would lie about that on Drew Gulak of
yeah
all people.
yeah. But it's just like they're at like various different heights, right? I
Yeah,
like when I reach
yeah.
out for a handshake, it's at least above your waist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And she didn't say like he brushed on it. Like he said like he grabbed it and like yanked on it. You know what I mean? Like you can't fuck that. Like I don't see how you could do that going for a handshake.
If his interpretation of the events is not accurate, and that was the best he could come up with to defend himself, he
Oh
may
yeah,
as well have said fucking nothing.
Yeah,
yes,
honestly.
absolutely.
Like saying nothing in that situation rather than being like, no, no, it was this, and you're like, wait, what? You did what? It was a handshake. Wait a minute. Go back. Go say that again. No, not a good look.
Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely
Like
strange.
I am like 80-20. Like fuck that 90-10 if he's telling the truth or not. And it's just 90 lying, 10 truth. Um just had to clarify.
Please.
I just think that's crazy. And to actually
Yeah.
to get caught up like that, absolutely crazy. Like,
All I know is he said he had witnesses, and I ain't hear no witness say nothing yet. So that's a
yeah.
little, you know what I mean?
Because WWE said you better shut the fuck up. Um,
I hope that's the reason.
Absolutely nuts. I'm sorry. Like I'm gonna move on because I really can't wrap my head around that. Jada Parker versus Brindley Reese. I think Brindley is really cool. I think she's a cool baby face. She's pretty good too. Um, she's not like she's, she's okay. Jada Parker, she is getting better.
She's figuring it out. You know what the thing is?
She
Jada
needs more reps.
not that, but also I think she's giving me the Carmelo vibe, bro. I don't believe the shit she be saying sometimes or how she
Nigga,
talking.
I don't believe OTM in general, bro.
That
I
as well.
I said it before. This is a GTA RP tag team, bro. I do not believe a single thing that these people say. I hate the hood gimmick. I hate the I'm from the ghetto gimmick. I feel like it only worked with like two people and it has failed for everybody else. Like the same way I feel about Eddie Kingston's I'm really from New York type shit is how I feel about we really from OTM saying we really from the streets type shit.
Yeah. Especially when
It
it's like
don't
white
work.
guys writing this shit, bro.
Yeah, or like it's white guys that they have to consult to be like approved to say this shit and be like, all right,
Yeah.
that's just hood enough. Like it doesn't work for me. So Yeah, OTM is always a dud in my book. Um, Nathan Frazier and Axiom, they win. We already went over that. Also, what is it? I read a report that they said that they might keep them as wolf dogs on the main roster. So I
I think
get
they
to have my
should.
wish. Yes, I think that's great. And then what is it? Final Testament pulls up on Raw. AOP attacks Frazier and Axiom. And honestly, I think that's a good place for him to be. If Carmelo Hayes doesn't get drafted, I mean, what is it? If Ilya or Trick, if they don't get drafted, actually it doesn't matter. I think Karrion Cross would be a cool opponent for any NXT champion, honestly. I think it might be a little too much for Trick Williams, like at the for the start, but like if Ilya takes it, I think Karrion Cross would be a cool opponent for him.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Carmelo Hayes and Trick, honestly, I thought Ilya Dragunov was going to turn heel here, and I was just like, whoa, 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 relax, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad they pumped the brakes on that. And then Carmelo Hayes returns, giving Trick a chop block, and then beating the shit out of Ilya, or like
Nice.
Ilya being collateral damage. That seems to be happening. That happens a lot to him.
It's
When
in
it
the wrong
comes to
place.
these two niggas.
It's in the wrong place, wrong time.
I did not write it down here, but the stuff with Rich Holland, it's fucking hilarious. He closes the door too hard on Cruz del Toro's hand. Is funny as shit.
Yeah.
Um, he's really just NXT's Black Cat. Like you walk past him and you get hurt. That's a crazy gimmick to have, bro.
Wait, he didn't do it on purpose? I thought he did it on purpose.
No, he didn't
Did
do
he?
it on purpose.
Oh, okay. I must have missed it. I thought he did it on purpose.
Yeah, like he did it on purpose to Joe Gacy, but he did the Cruz del Toro shit by accident. Like he just all he did was like he tried to like shut the door and then Cruz del Toro's hand was just like there.
That's pretty. That's my
um
fault then. The fuck?
it absolutely is. But
God damn it.
I thought that shit was really funny. And then to cap this off and to send us off to bed, um Braun Breaker does his farewell off off the air to NXT. I thought it was a very good speech. If you have not heard it, go check it out, go seek it out. Um it was really cool to see him start and finish,
Bro, he was the first match of the NXT 2.0, the first one.
Oh
We
yeah,
watched this
Yeah.
guy. We've watched this guy from day one. Literally,
well, can you tell me when that first episode is so I could watch it back and then we could talk about it next week?
I want to say it was near my birthday, so I believe it was September 10th, 2021. I want to say.
Okay.
That
Well,
sounds about right. Yeah.
yeah, we'll find it. Nah, man, that
Let's
was
see. I'm looking up right now.
for for
Premiere
for
episode.
for everyone that's been there from day one, you know how much this shit mean to me, man. I think this is phenomenal, glorious, all sorts of shit. Um, but that is it from us. Quan, you could just text it to me or DM me on Discord.
September 14th. It was
September 14th, 2000.
21.
Damn.
Crazy, right?
Yeah. Was only 3 years? Oh, well, almost 3 years. Well, you said the 14th of them. All right. Dom, but plug your stuff. I know you got a lot of stuff going on.
I mean,
Please do.
thank you guys for having me on. I have a YouTube channel, The Armchair Auteur, where I do like movie reviews and stuff, like video essays, although I haven't done any of those lately. The main thing I'm doing currently is I have a podcast that comes out every Friday called Your Fave Film Critic, where I just talk about like whatever I'm reading, listening to, watching, and it's just me. I don't have guests. It's just me for like an hour, like every week, without fail. And yeah, and if you I'm at All New Dom on Twitter. I'm at the Armchair Auteur on Instagram, and like I'm just all over the place, write movie reviews and then just talking about movies and just anything really.
All right. You can follow me on Twitter at Cyrus on TWR. You can follow Quan at the comeback spot. You can follow Dom at All New Dom. And you can follow the network, the A Show Network at the A Show RNC. You can also subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com the HORNC. It's been a great WrestleMania weekend. I'm back and rejuvenated to watch NXT again. Yeah, I think we have a lot of cool stuff moving forward. So looking forward to all of that. And then we'll see you guys next week.